What is this?
Hey, we're up.
All right, and welcome everybody to Turn5.Live. My name is DJ Everett on this Saturday night, September the 30th of 2018 AD.
Thank you for the clarification.
and I counted this is episode number 20. So we're getting to the
19 that have been published because one of them's blocked by F1.
Yeah.
Loophole.
So there you have it. My name is
All
right, and welcome everybody to Turn5.Live.
It's
My
not
name is
me.
DJ Everett on this Saturday night, September the 30th of 2018 AD.
Oh, it was me.
It was you. See, you got to hear the opening twice. So
That's funny because I just told you to mute it and I didn't mute myself.
Attaboy.
Keep
it
it.
up.
Right.
Somebody's got to do it every episode. We're like 20 for 20.
As you can see, Todd Lebrani. I'm in Todd's chair, and Todd Lebrani's
He's in Paris tonight.
Yeah,
having NASCAR
he jumped the pond over there, and
He's on the whole other side of the world.
celebrating his 30th wedding anniversary with Camille. So congratulations to them.
and visiting their daughter.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm very jealous. They've been on a bullet train already.
300 and what?
Something came out to be about a little over 200 miles an hour on a bullet train.
That's so freaking cool.
He's eating up the food up there as well, over there, and having a great time. I'm jealous, but yeah, Todd's gonna be away for the next couple of shows. So you have me, DJ, over here to my right, Donovan Johns, driver of Tucker 2.0. We hope is gonna be coming back out again.
oh yeah.
Well, we'll
soon.
see.
Yeah,
Well, a version. It may be Son of Tucker.
son of a Tucker.
Son of a Tucker.
You gotta put that on the
Is that
car.
what you said when you hit the wall? Son of a Tucker.
Yeah, it happened too fast. Did you see the pictures? Oh
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I should post that. Hold on,
Yeah.
see if I
While
can
he
find
looks for that, I'm going to introduce to my left,
a newcomer.
stepping in for Todd Lebrani tonight, a newcomer to the show.
Hey,
Sam Newcomer.
Thomas.
Welcome, Sam.
Woo, hello.
We've talked
everybody.
about him before many
Yep.
times. You've heard him, his voice on one of the interviews that we had on the phone, and now you can see his handsome face. Sam Newcomer.
How's everybody doing?
Everybody's all-around friend. Also did quite well last night in that Claimer 100. We'll talk about that in a little
Didn't
bit.
do too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, had some good success out
Yeah.
on the
A little
Lerville.
sore, a few new scrapes on the car, but we're doing it. Yeah.
You retired? I saw you retired. I was the first one too. You get out of that car, and I thought you were going to collapse.
I was worn the heck out. It did
Dude,
me.
you're old, and that's 100 laps.
It sucks getting old.
I'm not as old as my car is. Well, no, I guess it is. It's a 78.
Right. Wait a second.
Shit, everything's old.
Let's do the math here. So, anyway,
Let's not.
before we get things going here, let's thank our sponsors. Let's thank our sponsors first. FVP, you're holding that up first. I guess I'll mention that first. FVP.
FBB Parts.
Yeah, Tony Flores with the Flores Group. We want to thank them for their support. AC to Z, Marc Newman, AC to Z Mechanical. It's been a busy summer for him.
Yeah, and I was just talking to him because they're going to come work on my HVAC systems, getting me winterized. So
there you go.
He's starting
Time to
that
do
up.
it.
So yeah, right now he's booking appointments. So check out Marc Newman, AC to Z.
Yep.
Links on our page below here. Check out Turn5.Live website.
And that will book up fast.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Make your reservations soon. Royal Purple. Todd's not here, but we're still going to give some love to Royal Purple. Thank them as well. Lion Tamer Beard Care. Going there you go there.
Hold it up.
Yep, hold
to
it
the
up.
camera. To the camera.
To the camera right there.
If you want to look handsome like Donovan Johns as he is right now, put
Better,
some-
please be better. This is such a low bar.
I'm trying. I got this little thing I'm growing right here for the pirate look, but I don't think it's enough to.
Oh, you're talking about your thing. Okay, never mind. Okay.
I got a mustache though. Okay, come on.
I gotta live up to Todd's humor here. I don't think anybody can. To be honest with you, but
We'll work on it.
Sharmaine's shop. If you want some soft lips like mine, put on some Sharmaine's.
Soft, kissable lips.
It's over there.
The little lip
That little.
tubes.
I will take your word for that.
Trust me, you don't have to take his word for
You don't want
it.
to. You don't
Take
want
mine.
to. Sam, you don't want to kiss me to find out. Okay. All right. And Volt Vapes. Volt Vapes. Thank them. Also, thank you, Donovan, for Volt Vapes, and thank Volt Vapes for Donovan.
Yeah, we got a bunch of specials coming out. October 1st. We got some new sales up, and check it out. Get some e-liquid.
Yeah.
Share the love.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So these are those of you that are watching on YouTube right now, you can get on here and chat with us. You can partake in this three-way conversation as well. The more, the merrier.
It's not gay if it's in a three-way.
Yeah. You got any questions? You got any any complaints? Any questions? Any complaints? Direct them to Donovan Johns at 1-800.
At I don't care at gofuckyourself.com.
I'll have to look that up.
There's probably something out there that's just like that.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to find a website
Probably some
that was gofuckyourself.com.
probably some porno site out there. The name of that. So.
You think?
Oh my goodness, Dono. Wow.
I'm gonna Google it. Hold on.
Oh Lord. There we go.
So while Dono Googles that, yes, please interact with us. You got any questions? Any comments about what happened this past weekend? We're going to talk about. We have a lot to talk about from the national side and from the local side.
Holy Oh, I didn't spell it right.
You're going to download a virus, I bet you. You know what? You're going to type that in, and there's going to be a virus.
Yeah, totally.
And you deserve it.
Gofuckyourself.com. Ah, there's something there.
And here comes the virus.
Here comes the virus. Here comes the black screen.
It's the Cornucova virus.
We've given people the clap on this show, but that's a different kind of virus right there where you just downloaded. Buddy.
And for those who want to know, it's a forum.
Oh, that makes it even better. So
Just like
I know.
Just
People
like
can talk
we-
about going and fucking themselves.
yeah, just like what we have here, a forum.
porn line.
So we don't
If you guys want to have a great time and look at something really cool, go check out furnitureporn.com. Furnitureporn.com.
That's a little
Trust
only
me,
Donovan has the time to do this stuff.
Yeah,
You know, you
I'm working on race cars most of the time. I don't have time for this crap.
That site, I don't think it's been updated since like 98. But oh my god, it's like the best.
All the stuff to see on there. So I only have one kid. I got race cars to build.
There you go.
No time for that.
yeah, you guys go ahead and look it up. Let us know how it is. Donovan will also let us know how it is as well. Jeremy White, good evening to you. Danny Martin, he says, welcome, Sam. Welcome to the show, Sam.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
glad to be
Sam-
here and try it out.
It's so good to have Sam on the show here. I tell you what, not only is he a great race driver, but he's also loves to help people.
Yeah.
Loves to help people, and we love that in him. So,
Yeah, it's fun when everybody's doing it. You know.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No. I enjoy helping everybody and getting everybody together and racing. And if I can help somebody be faster, it makes me faster. So I love doing it. It's,
Yeah.
In the community, I'm up here for a reason. So the more I can help, the better I am.
Sweet.
absolutely.
Wow, that sounded self-centered. I shouldn't do that.
God, you're a self-centered son of a
You know, you are such a narcissist.
you're one self-centered son of a Tucker. You know that?
So he's not the
Not
son
yet.
of Tucker. Tucker was 99. This guy's 42. Oh.
Keep rolling on that one. I'll let you believe that one, and we will go from there.
How was the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
Welcome to the jungle, Sam.
It was pretty nice, but it wasn't as good as the
Phil-
birth of Christ when I was there. So
Feel free to fire back anytime. We can take it.
It's all about the life of Brian.
Yeah.
why do you think I do race cars? They helped invent the wheel. Come on.
Oh my goodness, Matt Egley.
Eggs.
Eggs, buddy. He's tuned in as well. All right, so let's start off with a little bit of national stuff.
Yes.
OMG, did you guys see the Roval, the NASCAR Roval race from Charlotte this past weekend? Xfinity on Saturday, the Cup race today. I know you watched some of it there, Sam. You're a NASCAR fan.
Yeah.
The Roval at Charlotte, a road course on the inside, and also partakes part of the actual track of the Charlotte Motor Speedway as well, the 1.5 mile oval. It's a 2.28 mile in length road course, 17 turns.
Yes.
And watching the Xfinity race yesterday and watching the Cup race today, I was actually quite impressed because plenty of passing opportunities. Okay.
Yes.
Throw in some banking as well on a road course. You know.
Yeah, a lot. I was surprised. I had thought that the infield was fairly flat. It is.
No,
there's a lot of-
A little bit of elevation change there in the infield. Okay.
And I'm a big fan of it because I've always said that, with the chase format, and we'll discuss that later, but in the chase format, I always thought there should be a road course, should be short courses. I mean, if they're the best in the world, they need to be the best in the world on all tracks. So I was super glad that they put a road course in the chase.
Yes.
I would have liked them. It was neat that they put in a track that nobody's ever been on because they don't have years of notes to play with.
Right.
So obviously everybody started from scratch, which was awesome to watch because nobody had a clue what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
But I would have liked to have seen a track that normally wouldn't get a race, like Mid-Ohio or somebody like that, get a race to help them. I mean, obviously Atlanta, did their thing, but it was a good race.
What I liked about this was that it's a road course inside of a stadium type setting. Okay, we're not talking.
Was neat.
We're not talking about. We're not talking about a road course at Mid Ohio or Road America.
Coda.
Been to those tracks before.
Yeah.
They go by you. You don't see them again for.
Sonoma's that way, yes.
Sonoma's at the dog leg.
Yep. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that. I got the news
saw
on
that this morning.
We'll talk about that here in a second.
Coming soon.
So, not like these other road courses. They go by and you're not going to see them again for about another minute and a half, 2 minutes, unless you're one of the ones that are fortunate to sit in front of a Jumbotron and watch the TV broadcast as well.
I have a Jumbotron in the room right over there.
Riverside was that way when I was a kid, and we'd sit in the S's in Riverside, and the exact same thing. You'd see them come through the S's, and then they'd be gone. Yeah. And then you'd wait a couple.
But it's awesome, it's a
stadium
type setting, and the road course itself was pretty darn cool,
Yes.
Pretty darn cool. So, unfortunately, Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones didn't think it was too cool because in their practice sessions, Bubba Wallace in the
he hit a ton.
The backstretch chicane, which
my back hurt watching that.
Yeah, the backstretch chicane, which was labeled as turns 11 and 12. Bubba Wallace in practice nailed that tire wall, if you will.
By nailing it, we're not talking about he hit it perfectly.
Yeah,
he hit it.
He was all 4 tires off the ground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
His eyes were shut, I'm sure. Yeah, that was.
Eric Jones in qualifying for the Cup race nailed it as well. Denny Hamlin had some complications going through there as well. So what they did, I don't know if you guys knew this or not. I'm not sure if they did it before the Xfinity race or during the Xfinity race, but they took that tire wall, the end of it, and they moved it about a half a car width.
Yeah.
Out back.
So they won't. They needed. That's smart.
So it's funny they were talking about they moved the tire wall back a little bit, but they still had the turtles. I've raced on tracks that have turtles.
Right.
Those things aren't turtles. Those were
jumps.
little mountain curbs.
Those were full blood tortoise.
Oh my!
So instead of hitting a tire wall, it's going to destroy your car. If you miss the chicane a little bit, you're going to hit those turtles, and you'll probably get 3 feet of air on your left front.
Think of the impact on ball joints and tie rods, and it's going to mess up your car no matter how.
Your geometry is going to get screwed.
It's not like Sonoma where you can come over the curb and kind of make.
It's not the rumble strip.
Oh yeah, that was wicked. Ooh.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was awesome to watch.
I got it this morning. I was really excited to watch it, and I realized I don't have bunny ears on my TV. I only have broadband.
I got a big TV in the shop, so come over, drink beer, stare at race cars, and watch TV.
But then I decided, fuck it.
I got a mirror. I got a mirror in the ceiling of my room.
There you go. A little 60.
That's a must-see TV, probably. I wouldn't know, but
16-inch flat screen mirror.
Sorry, Linda. I told everybody. Anyway,
we were there for your birthday.
So anyhow, that's the Roval. That's the description of the Roval and what was leading up to couple of pretty exciting races there. Starting up Saturday with the Xfinity race. When I say exciting, it was pretty exciting. The Xfinity Series was the first to tame the Roval. Chase Briscoe picked up his very first career Xfinity race win on the Roval. He led the last 24. He led the 24 of the 55 laps in that race. The last 24. Right. So first win. Congratulations to him. Sprint car guy too, so good for him. So not much drama in the Xfinity race, but when you turn to today's Cup race, boy,
it had it going on all over the place.
Boy, oh boy,
yeah, it lived up to as much hype as they threw into it for the last few weeks. It did end up living up to that hype. That was kept us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah,
I was cheering and screaming. So
yeah,
we sit up there.
So. Let's
we got a newcomer here.
Yeah,
trying to get his mic right.
So during the race itself, the exciting part wasn't until the very last 10 laps of the race during today's Cup race. During the race itself today, Eric Amarola, Austin Dillon had their issues. Ricky Stenhouse had his issues as well during the race. But let's fast forward to the lap 7 restart. 7 laps to go on that restart. Brad Keselowski and Kyle Larson on the front row.
He turned, and that car just didn't get any forward grip, and he went head on.
Yeah, so Keselowski, who was the leader, turned left, car went straight. Yep. Same thing for Kyle Larson. Car went straight.
Kyle Larson,
same thing
Kyle
for
Busch.
Kyle
Busch, followed him right in.
Paul Menard, William Byron. They all went straight into that tire barrier. Okay,
and then bounced off and collected a few.
So in the end, there was 10 cars that were down there stopped.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wrecked or just stopped, and they say that that was the first restart on old tires. So they didn't know what to expect going down there, and boy, did they saw what happened.
And the way you come down for that start, and then you make that 90-degree corner, they're moving right along, and then try and make that transition, the brake and transition at the same time. Yeah, without having prior notes and not knowing how those tires are going to hold that, because I guess this was a super hard tire that they ran because they didn't know what to run. Mm-hmm. So they erred on the side of caution with hard tires, which is good.
Because if you go too soft, now you shoot them up, and now you're losing it all over the track.
Yeah, and then they're lasting 5 laps, and you're done.
Right.
So I get where they went, but yeah, they had no idea in that thing. I mean, they just plowed straight forward, and I felt bad for Busch and Larson, who had most of the day was dominating that race.
Right there. He was right there.
He was right top 3 all day, just doing a really good job, and that was bad.
Yeah. So if you think that was the exciting part, it got even more exciting after that.
We think right about the last lap.
So we're talking about after they cleaned that up, they went back to green with 3 laps to go. Okay. Martin Truex and Jimmy Johnson start running away from the field 1 and 2. So keep in mind, we have a battle for the lead. Now we also have a battle to get into those last playoff spots, because the Roval is the cutoff race in order to get into. After the Roval race, we dropped 4 drivers.
We dropped 4 drivers, and those last, there was probably the bottom 6, 7 were all in that. Well, no, the 3 because he had his issues. So the bottom 6 or so were all in that group. So however it finished in the end.
So
what's how they're gonna.
I can describe it to you. Yeah. I can describe how it's gonna go here. So let's talk about the battle for the win first. Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex. Okay, 3 laps to go. Johnson's right there. He's not going away. He's slowly catching him. Okay, last lap they take the white flag. They hit the chicane on the backstretch. Johnson hits it, nails it perfect. Now he's on. Now he's on Truex's bumper. Okay. Yes. They come around turn 4 off the banking, coming down into the final set of turns, 15, 16, and 17. The left, right, left.
That's as they're getting ready to come in front of pit lane, right?
Yeah, the last chicane. So they're coming. They're on the oval.
We're coming down for the checker flag.
They're coming down for the checker lane on the oval, hauling butt down for the last chicane. So they're probably at that breaking point. What, 160, 165?
Yeah. Try coming up that banking and onto a flat surface too. That's challenging.
Fighting that transition.
Yeah. So Jimmy makes a move on Truex and starts to spin the car.
He pulled a Carl Edwards move, like he played it in video games for years and years. He goes, I know I can make that. And
NASCAR
he bonsai'd into that corner, and it was awesome, and there was no way it was going to survive.
Nope.
There was no hope of him coming out, but it was a neat Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And I think he was hoping he would hit Truex good enough that maybe they'd bounce off and come together, but no, there was no saving.
So he starts spinning, and Truex looks in the rearview mirror and sees a spinning Jimmy Johnson. He's like, "Oh crap! How am I going to avoid this?" Yeah. He didn't avoid it. Jimmy, in the middle of the spin, collected Truex. So there goes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Here comes Ryan Blaney in third, coming out of the last turn 17, heads for the checker flag. And
that's why I've in fact I was talking to a friend of mine. I've been helping build his mini stock down in California, and we had a discussion this morning because he raced last night. And even then, I told him, you never give up. You never know what's going to happen in front of you. And Ryan Blaney had conceded that he was done. He was third place.
He was taking his third.
And all of a sudden, the skies parted and the sun shined, and he hauled butt, and it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was good. But
so that was the race for the win. Now we have the issue with who's going to make it into the playoffs. Okay, so that's the second issue on the last lap of this race. Okay, that we had to deal with. So at that point, Jimmy Johnson and Eric Almirola were tied. They were.
And so was Carl Larson because he was in the last crash.
Here's what happened. Kyle Larson was 1 point behind Jimmy Johnson and Eric Almirola, who were in the playoffs.
Yes.
Kyle Larson is 1 point behind him. He's the first person out of the playoffs.
Yes.
So, here.
Driving a car that after that wreck was so bent up. I don't even know how the thing was rolling.
It's trashed.
Oh, it was done. The
can't
front
turn.
suspension was
keep that in mind. It can't turn.
Done.
So, on that last lap also, there's another tangle coming out of turn 17. Jeffrey Earnhardt hits the wall. Okay?
And he flooded the car and stalled the car.
And here comes Kyle Larson. He's got to pass Jeffrey Earnhardt to get to the line. If he passes him, there's a 3-way tie now for those last 2 playoff spots.
All right.
Okay? I wish I had the video. Kyle Larson's coming up at turn 4. Bangs the wall in turn 4. But once he banks it, though, it lines him up straight to go into the last set of turns.
For the
I think he used it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he used that as a turn. Yeah. That was his steering wheel, was using the walls to turn.
Ricochet.
So he goes through 15, goes through 16, comes out of 17, bangs the wall again.
And that pointed him straight for the start-finish
line. And passes Jeffrey Earnhardt. Yeah. Now we are tied. 3 guys tied for 2 playoff spots going into the...
So isn't from what I've read, the next level is wins?
It's
the next level is I think wins, and then it goes to highest finishing position.
Is it finishing or average finishing?
No, finishes in that round. In that round.
In that round.
In that specific round.
Okay.
So I've
and Jimmy Johnson's been having a bad year, so
right. in that first round of 16, Kyle Larson had a second place finish at Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Amarola, excuse me, had a 5th place finish at Richmond.
Right.
And today's finish for Jimmy Johnson was 8th. So Eric Amarola and Kyle Larson advances to the next round of the playoffs. Jimmy Johnson is gone. Is gone.
Man,
I'm sad.
Now
let's call this real quick. When's retirement?
What's that?
For the 48.
Well, I think he's definitely throwing a lot at it right now because obviously Lowe's is out this year.
Right.
Lowe's is done.
He's lost the money sponsor.
He's lost the money.
He didn't make the playoffs. Well, he made it.
He wanted
this round.
to, and he wants to give. Obviously, Lowe's going out the best he can.
Right.
So, he's still got chances to win a race.
Well,
but
yeah, he can still show, but it's not.
He can show, but it's not for the big show.
It's not for the seat at the table.
Right.
You know, as much as I'm a fan of Jimmy Johnson, for those of you who can tell, a whole other story. The problem is, I couldn't fathom the amount of pressure right at this moment that, hey, you're the 7-time champion and you need to be winning races, and it's been over a year. That poor guy, I mean, he threw that Hail Mary because he knows what he needs to get done because now he's looking for next year. And I'm sure he doesn't have a lack of sponsors. But
so this brings up another question. Of course, hindsight's 2020, and we can all be backseat drivers.
Absolutely.
Know. If Jimmy Johnson didn't throw that Hail Mary and would have stayed second, he would have advanced to the next round along with Eric Amarola, and Kyle Larson would have been the one out.
Going out, yep.
But the bottom line of all of it, and
you
what
race
we do,
to win.
But
you race to win. You're there to win races.
Since his last win wasn't, it was June of 2017 at Dover was his last win.
Yep.
Over a year for a 7-time champion. So, yeah.
With the same top flight team, putting out top flight cars. Yep. You know, obviously, everybody else has stepped up. Spending top flight dollars because Lowe's they don't mind spending checks. That's a lot. I mean, it goes to show how competitive everything at that tier is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because just like our racing, out here at our local tracks, you've always got the top 5 or 6 guys, and you've got the middle group of guys, and then you've got the bottom guys that are just trying to hang on. Jimmy Johnson's normally one of those top 4 or 5 in that tier that has everything that you could ever want as a race car driver.
Right. Right.
And the pressure on him right now has got to be immense. I mean, whether I like the guy or not, I mean, that's a lot to deal with, and then just strap into a car and go race.
In his profession, that's got to be an asinine amount of pressure.
Oh yeah.
So I don't envy any of those guys.
No. No, you got these corporate sponsors dumping millions and millions of dollars into you, and you are the guy. You are the quarterback of that team.
Yep, and that's and it's funny because it trickles down. We'll talk about it later on some of the local and the semi-local stuff, be it the K&N or whatever. A lot of these kids that are coming up through that are 13, 14, 15 years old, they know about driving cars and being good and whatnot. They don't quite understand that side of the sport where you got to go out and promote yourself and you got to provide for your sponsor. That's a whole nother set of pressures than just driving a car.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to learn.
So we eliminate 4 drivers today, and we started over again. This time we got 12 drivers in this next round. They call it the round of 12, going into next week's race at Dover. And
Clint made it, so I'm happy. I'm a Clint Boyer fan.
Kyle Larson made it, so I'm happy.
Kyle Larson made it. He was good.
So we do it again for 3 more races in the round of 12. Let's talk about playoffs.
Let's do.
Let's talk about playoffs. So we have some differing opinions here, and those of you that are watching right now on
I
here.
need more beer.
What do you guys think?
We don't have somebody that gets our beer here?
Riley is not here today.
Where are you, Riley?
Riley had family, or read it as a girl.
We have to get our own beer.
Riley, you told me earlier you're going to be here. Riley, where the heck are you?
You got cold beer, so that works.
You got to be committed to being our beer winch.
I told him he'd be promoted to intern if he was here.
I should have brought the boy.
Jeremy White says, sad day yesterday, final fun day at RMR. Going to miss that track, although I was not able to attend. Love seeing all the pics that were posted. We're going to miss it too, RMR.
Yes.
Man, oh man, I still can't fathom that.
I would love to tell you how much I loved going to that track, but I just gave myself a big head.
Attaboy.
I was going to say.
What? But
I mean, you always hate to hear any track go down. I got one opportunity to race there years ago with the Pro 4, and it's so sad to see any track go down in this day and age. And that was such a neat place, and I love the people that went there. That's kind of sad.
It is. It is. So we are in the middle of NASCAR playoffs right now. Let's talk about playoffs.
In general,
Playoffs.
go Browns.
Playoffs in racing? What the heck? Playoffs in
Do you want to start that way?
Playoffs in racing. So anyway, go ahead.
You want to?
We have some differing opinions here. So Donovan,
I will happily be the dissenting opinion.
Okay.
Newcomer.
Oh, so
What?
throw it at me.
There's a bus, number 7. Just no, I'm kidding. So
tell us your opinion about the playoffs, about playoffs in racing in general.
Just the stupidest fucking thing that has no business to be in our sport. None whatsoever.
Okay.
As
long as we know what you really think.
Right. I'm happy to promote it out because I think I think the right way.
I definitely, I'm on the fence. I can go kind of both ways.
I despise them from the thought forward.
So tell us why you despise it. Give us your reasons.
We do this sport. Well, back it up. So the playoffs are for people who do short seasons, which I don't like playoffs in baseball either for the same reason. Baseball is an incredibly long season. Racing is an incredibly long season.
Yes, absolutely.
Football's a short season. Basketball's a short season. The actual seasons. While they have all their camps and everything else, it's becoming a year-long thing. But when you do something for as long as you do it, and if you're really fucking good at what you do all season long, for you to then go, okay, you and like the guy who had a 500 win or what do you call it, 500, won 50%.
Right.
Or succeeded 50% of the time. For most sports, that qualifies you also to get into the playoffs. I'm sorry. I busted my ass. My team busted my ass all season long. Yes. You're not going to reset me back to the same level as them or a close level as them to drive up drama. Why fabricate that level of bullshit?
But it gives... It gives
is that all you had on
for the most part.
Okay.
It's the falsifying of drama that doesn't need to be there because it disrespects the people who did a good job, and it promotes people who did an average job. And that's just
okay. So go, Sam. Go ahead.
To a point, yes. I like that it creates the excitement at the end of the year to get the fans rolling. I'm not a huge fan of...
Don't excuse excitement for drama.
That's true, but I don't excuse the win automatically you're in.
Right.
I still think that there should be playoffs because that's a neat way to tighten it back up. It's just like restarting the field. You take a yellow flag, everybody bunches back up, and then you go back at it. So have your normal series championship with points, and then tilt the herd of the top 16 cars in points that get you there, reset the points, and start over for the last 16 run. Then it would be cool because you won't get, and nothing to be against like Allmendinger or somebody like that, they win one race, and they're automatically in.
Right.
So run your points all year, and then restart over. So you still have your championship, you still have your chase, you still have 16 cars within a certain amount. Give them the bonus points for winning, but I don't think the automatic winning you're in is the key.
A la Kyle Busch back in 2015. I think it was 2015.
Missed X amount of races.
Regular season, he finished 20-something points or something like that.
And made it.
Wins the championship.
Right.
So I disagree. Yeah, I agree with that, what you said.
Because the problem is, on normal years, you'll have, let's say, Kyle Busch. Or this year, you technically would have had 3 guys that ran away, and then it's boring because if you were in regular points the rest of the year, they've already won the championship, 6 races left to go.
Right.
1998, Jeff Gordon won it with 1 race to go. Matt Kenseth won it in 2003 with 1 race to go.
Yeah.
Last year, they say that under the old points format, Martin Truex would have won it with 2 races to go. He would have clinched it at Texas last year.
Yeah.
2 races to go.
So I think I like the playoffs. I like what it encompasses. I like the excitement it can create. I don't like the way to get into it.
Right.
So that's kind of off. Just like the 2 things that I really dislike is I dislike vetted owners that automatically get to race.
Yeah,
You get 3 provisionals, past champion plus a couple of others, and everybody else, if you take a car to a race, you have as much equal opportunity to get in a race as anybody else. If you show up, you all qualify. So why would you even try if you're Jimmy Johnson or somebody that's automatically in? Well, I don't care. I'm automatically racing.
So once the 48 does recur, once Johnson does retire.
I'm sorry, I'm not a Johnson hater entirely, so don't hate on me.
I don't care for any of them personally. But so if you have a ringer who you know is going to win at Martinsville, or somebody you know is going to win at Charlotte, I don't fucking know. And then you have a guy who's retired out or on a reduced schedule. What's to stop Childress from going, the new driver in the 48. He's not quite gotten that win yet, so I'm going to bring in one of my semi-retired drivers, throw him in there, get the team a win,
and get into the chase or whatever.
and boom.
Yeah. Now isn't there?
So now you're bringing in ringers all over the place.
Well, it still goes by driver. So if you win a race, it's not the team that makes the chase, but the driver.
So
and you got to kind of look at it, because there is like Chris Buescher when he won and got into the chase last year. Was it last year? Year before. Year before.
Yeah.
For that team, as much as I dislike that put their whole team on the map. That made their whole year, because they won that one lucky race.
There's a positive to that.
So there is a positive to getting there, because some smaller teams, or Allmendinger when he won in the 47, that one win catapulted their team, got them sponsors, got them money. So there is some positive.
The cohesion in the team itself, I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not worth it to the sport as a whole.
Yes, it kind of cheapens the sport a little bit. That like DJ said, Kyle Busch sits out 4 races for breaking bones.
Yeah, that's
he didn't sit them out. He was kind of out.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he wasn't there. He wasn't racing his car. Yeah. But all he had to do for the whole year was get to the 20th in points, so he's at the cutoff. Right. Because he's going to win a race. Well, I mean, it's Kyle Busch.
You have 15 good teams, and you have 30 who... Great. Thanks for being here.
So his whole run, he knew he was going to win at least one. So his whole year was just getting me to 20. Because as long as I'm 20, I'm automatically in the chase.
Right.
So now, had that style of the format not happened, and he have to actually get up there, well, one, he probably wouldn't have made the chase that year, and he wouldn't have won the championship.
Yeah.
Because it would have been based on points and blah blah blah. So. I get the validity. I get what they're trying to do. It just they still need a little bit of tweaking. To make it exciting.
Yeah. So
I think it just should go away.
This is where I stand on it, and going for what you said, Donovan. Long seasons, baseball, racing. If you're good during most of that year, okay, if you're a number 1 team during most of that year, okay, now we head into the playoffs, and you bomb it, you don't deserve to win a championship. You have to be good from start
to finish.
Sorry.
It's an inanimate object. Please.
Sorry. You need to be good from start to finish. You better be good through the playoffs as well.
Yes.
You don't deserve a championship if you bomb the playoffs.
Even prior to the points changing, most championships aren't won by walkaways. So if you bomb 1 or 2 races in the last 4, 5, 6, 8 races, you're still not going to win a championship. Now, there's been lots of times in NASCAR's history where the championship was locked with 1, 2, or 3 races to go. But again, if you just lay up a goose egg, lap 1, turn 1, and wall the shit, you're going to lose the points.
Well, and that's what happened to Carl Edwards a couple years ago.
Well, let's be real. If you want to win a NASCAR championship, you almost have to be perfect.
Yes.
Right? No, you do.
So he led most of that year. He led the points, and at the last race at Miami, he pulled a Hail Mary, and that one crash put him out of it, even though he dominated most of the year, and he was leading that race until that caution. Then he had to throw a Hail Mary, that cost him a championship, not by points.
Yeah, that's where I also don't like the weed him down section. That if you get fucked from something stupid, you're out. And it's not because of what you did. It's not because of what the race did, but you took an otherwise championship level run and you just eradicated.
Well, that could also happen under the old system too.
If you screw one race, you still have an opportunity to win in the next to get your points in the next 4, 5, 6 races. Well, he's out. Yeah. He has zero chance to win that championship.
But let's say you're in the championship run under the old system and you got 2 races to go and you get screwed. That can happen as well.
It absolutely can. And that's when some luck has to come in, and that's when they call it championship luck, where some guy will spin and crash, and
you got to have some luck in it.
You'll miss something. So you have to. I think to be a champion, you have to have a complete package. Luck has got to go your way. Years have to go your way.
From race 1 to race 36,
has to.
You got to be good.
Yeah,
you got to be good. And my other thing,
I'd rather be lucky than good, but you have to be awful damn good.
And my other thing too is this, and we'll talk about the NFL as well. I'll make a small comparison to the NFL. I guess if I'm okay with 2 teams, one race, 2 teams with 1 game, you got a championship. You got a champion out of that game. I guess I should be.
I got to fix that keg.
Is he doing
it's still really bubbly.
Oh.
so yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with that.
Right.
My other issue with the playoff is if, like with Johnson today, if we're going to go with a bad race screws you, take out every other team that's not in the race. If you're not there to get into that next level, if you're not that top 16, don't start.
Yeah, but that's got to be a variable in the end.
But does it? If you're if you're only awarding points to those top 16 teams, yet you still have to drive around the other remaining 20 drivers.
Well, here's my thing.
Take them out of the equation, because now you're literally saying if a bottom 20 car gets in your way and causes an issue, why are you penalized for someone who's not in the chase fucking your day?
But because it should be a variable because you're racing against other cars. But I think just like we can do it at local tracks and whatnot, there should be a bonus to add a little bit of drama for the guys that aren't in a chase to a reason to be there racing. See what I'm saying?
The bonus is don't have a chase.
Well,
yeah, because if you're not, but if you're racing, like I said, now you're Jimmy Johnson, you just got knocked out of the chase. You've got 6 races left, and other than testing, you're not even supposed to be there. So you know what? They should get a bonus because they need to try just as hard to knock those guys off the pedestal because you're an obstacle that they need to overcome to become champion.
Let's just say you're me, Donovan, and you're just got knocked out of a championship chase, and now you have someone who you don't like who's in that chase. What's to stop me from, oh, sorry. Oops,
and we've seen that before.
Right.
Somebody that's got knocked out of the chase.
I'm going to drive you extra hard.
Yep.
Because I should be in this chase. And motherfucker, you're in it. And you did something to me at some point. So, hey, guess what? Now you're not going to win the chase either.
I mean, you can go that route.
And that's
there's repercussions to that, I'm sure.
Are there?
Oh, yeah, there
well,
would be.
I can't say that in my racing career.
Not by rules, but by teams. And if you want to deal with that, that's up to you.
Oh, yeah, we won't even get into the fucking team situation.
Yeah. Well, I can't say that in my little local racing career and running around our little bull rings, have I messed with other champions because they've wrecked me on a night that, and I haven't paid back because as race car drivers, we're like elephants. I will remember 4 seasons down the road.
Do you remember in 2002 when you ran me hard in 3?
Absolutely.
Oh,
so it comes, and it shouldn't be any different at the upper level as it is at our level. Right. So if that comes, you've already sowed that crop.
Yeah.
And if it comes back to you, it's because you did it in the first place. So I totally agree with you that can happen. But it happens because you already started that ball in motion.
It did happen, but at the cup level.
Happen
Logano and Kenseth.
Yep, absolutely. And he took Logano out.
Sure.
And Logano said, "Nope. The next race, guess who's
going to if I can't make it, you're not going to make it either." So he took him out intentionally. So there you go.
Yeah. Right. And I think you want to talk about a bonus to people who aren't in the chase, racing chasers. High five that shit.
Oh yeah.
You want to be in the Sweet 16? You want to be in the top 12? You want to be in that?
You want to be in that
four?
Final 4? You better make sure your slate is clean with a whole lot of drivers out there.
You better have sucked every other driver's dick and made them all happy before that race started. And you do that every single race.
But at the other side of that, if you look at it from the media standpoint, looking in, that was awesome because fans flocked to that because that's what we're here for. I mean, as racers, we build, if it's not the Spencer and the Ivan Baldwins or Mears and Foyt, I mean, there's always rivalries. After that happened with Logano and Kenseth that year, and I remember, a couple others, viewership went up. Fans all of a sudden jumped on it because they're like, oh, God, I want to watch next weekend because this dude is going after that guy. So that helps us and helps the sport as a whole grow because now you've got the excitement.
So I know we have a lot of the same mindset in thematic driving.
Oh God!
And I know we grew up in a lot of the same announcers, and I know DJ, you had a lot of that as well. Yeah. Ralph Shaheen was our track announcer at All American Speedway when I was growing up there.
Love Ralph.
Really? Right.
I've never heard him live. That would be awesome.
God, Ralph Shaheen! Please tell me you watch the show, and please. Anyway. Having that connection, and a lot of the early Ned Jarrett, Chris Economic.
I
want to call him Economy so fucking bad.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys, when they called these races, they called them in the manner with which you knew that Earnhardt had a rivalry with this, and this is what happened 3 races ago, and this is what happened last year, and that has been missing. The the characters of the drivers, and that's been talked about widely over the last decade in the upper divisions of NASCAR, because you have to be white bread. If you want the sponsorship money, you've got to be the white bread. But in having that particular instance that you guys were just talking about with Logano, or not Logano, Logano.
Yeah, Logano.
That needs to happen on a daily basis, and that's the drama.
And I've always said,
not
even
the playoff bullshit.
Yes. Even with our local teams and whatnot, and I've talked with several promoters over the years, you need a little bit of that WWE mentality. Because when I was a kid going with my dad when he was racing at Orange Show Speedway, it was Ivan Baldwin versus the Mears boys and whatnot. A lot of fans didn't go to watch the races. They went to see guys going after each other. They're going after to see Mears get down. And like that Madhouse TV show that was a while back. Oh, shit, can I mention another TV show? Anyways.
We'll probably get the
but that's why you watched it, because you wanted to see what these guys went after each other. And that promoted it because you wanted to see the drama and that guy wrecked him last week. This guy's coming back for vengeance. And then people flocked.
It is so true. I announced at a track back in North Carolina one time, and I'm up there in the booth, and the race director brought in 2 drivers to the office before all the events started that night. He says, "Okay, you two, I saw what happened last week. Okay, I don't condone what you guys did. You guys got out of your car, you started pushing each other and shoving each other on the track. I don't condone that. But let me tell you something. The fans loved it." That's what he said. The fans freaking loved it.
And then he was watching Latham's. When fucking Latham got out of his car in Twin.
Fans went nuts.
Holy shit. As much as I've been going to Twin Falls in the last 4 or 5 years, I've never heard that fan, the bodies in those seats erupt the way they did. And so when you have that, and of course, God bless Nate Graves and DJ, you guys did an amazing job with it. When he got out, it was pandemonium.
There used to be a meme a friend sent me a while back, and it was posted at some small venue back east. That had a big sign when you entered the pits. It says, "You fight in my pits, that's $100 fine. You guys fight on the front straightaway, that's $100 bonus."
Right?
So you do it where the fans can see it and get the fans involved, and it's awesome for the fans. It gives them a reason to come spend their hard-earned money to watch us. Because if you want to just watch cars roll around, go sit by a freeway and watch cars wing by. We go out because we are...
That's European road racing.
It is. Kind of. Because those guys, they line up and they do their thing. But part of what we do is putting on a show. So, we build fast cars and we enjoy doing what we do. And I love bull rings and bouncing off each other. But there's got to be some... I mean, I wear a pirate hat, for God's sake, and people are getting to know it because it's funny and because people remember it and because it gives the people something to grab onto and roll. And that's what the rivalries do. As much as I think Kyle Busch is a complete pain in the ass, and I can't take anything away from the talent that he drives, but there's people that watch NASCAR
to
boo him and to watch him. Oh, we got wrecked this week. Oh,
just like
you got loose. Oh,
just like Dylan Hurt said. I don't care if they're booing me or they're cheering me on, just as long as they're doing something.
Making noise. Absolutely,
I can
100%.
tell you this. Inside the car, we can hear boos better than we can hear cheers.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've been having so much fun with Meridian Speedway. These people up here are freaking awesome. And I've raced at Orange Show. My dad started racing there in the late 60s, and I went with him, and I started. My son started. And they get a lot of fans, and not bad. Nothing like Meridian. Holy, you guys got a lot of fans that come out and watch you. When I took the lead last night, that's the first time in my career I heard the fans erupt as I took the lead. That was the coolest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I will tell you, the lap previous you're taking the lead is why you got the cheers.
I let him. I didn't. I could have taken him all the way around. I bumped him. I let him know I was there, and I let him collect it, and then I went back on.
All of us standing up in right by turn 3.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you that hard.
Yeah,
but you kind of stopped.
Brian's like, yeah, whatever.
We kept watching you go high, and then and you're like, oh man! And all of a sudden, you checked out, gassed on, and we're like, oh, he's gonna. Oh.
What did Haley Deegan say in the end of her thing? I hit him not. I didn't make him
wreck
him
like they drove him,
but I knocked him up.
Yep,
it was
knocked him up.
The neatest thing, like I said, I've taken the lead many times and done that. But you're right. You can hear the fans in there go, and that pumped me up. And I'm like, oh, I'm on it.
And
now.
You got them coming out of 4 down the front stretch, so you got like 5,000 people hollering.
I've never heard that from a crowd, and now I see why these guys do what they do, because that is adrenaline pumping to take the lead and swing out, and you hear the fans. It's like, oh.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that Claimer race here in just a little bit. Let's finish up here really quick. Great discussion on NASCAR really quick. One more news on NASCAR. Sonoma. Going to add in the carousel for the first time since 1997 for the first time.
I remember the first time, because Sacramento lived there for 15 years.
Oh, I didn't know.
And we would go to Sonoma. And it was one of those ones where you'd wake up, you're like, you know what? Let's go to Sonoma. Let's go watch the race. And you go down and you spend like $20. You sit in turn 8. Which is through the snake 8A.
Yep.
And it was fantastic. You watched some great racing in there. And then when they took out the carousel section, it whitewashed that race down to just.
It's going to make that one little bitty
when they have to drive down that hill and make that corner.
It's a left-hander downhill.
Oh my God! It's so when you're sitting there all along, and now that they've concreted and made the seats in there, that section of the track. I watched India there. I watched the
those will be
World
the
Challenge
coveted
there.
Seats.
That's the best seat in the house.
Yep.
Because you get to watch them loop around that little hill. You get to watch them come up, go behind the hill, and then as they're coming out and battling the left-hander going downhill, and then the next left-hander. And then you can see him go all the way down to the U-turn section, and then come back down through the chicanes in front of you.
Yeah. That's a long straightaway. That's
very long.
It's a long straightaway from that turn down to the next turn. So that's pretty long straightaway.
The battles that can occur.
I'm looking so forward to that next year. That gives that race a whole new meaning.
My heart warmed up so well when I saw that news.
Yeah, NASCAR made a good move on that one.
Yes.
So
they did
that was a needed move.
Applaud them.
So moving on here, let me just mention F1 really quick.
Absolutely.
We're just going to hit mute so that we don't get flagged.
No. Sochi, Russia this morning. Okay, Lewis Hamilton wins his 8th of the year, his 70th career win.
That's amazing.
Okay, he's got a 50-point lead over Vettel with 5 races left in the season.
He's as long as it's his to lose. It's not his to win.
He's just got to start and finish mid-pack, and he's done.
Let's talk about Hamilton really quick. Okay, Michael Schumacher, all-time wins with 91. Okay, all-time championships with 7. If Hamilton wins the championship this year, that'll be his 5th. Okay, he's got 70 wins, so he's still young as well. So he's 2 more championships to tie Schumacher, 20 more wins to tie Schumacher. He's still young. Okay, that's
gonna be hard.
McLaren. He's driving for McLaren Mercedes, one of the best teams out, the best team out there probably.
Yeah.
So
I don't know though. I've been watching F1 for a long time, and as every year you get older, the crop behind you is getting younger.
Yes, it exponentially drops off.
And they're becoming more hungry to get you. Mm-hmm. And teams are doing nothing but finding drivers to beat you.
Yeah.
And that's, look at Johnson's run it back in the Cup.
Right.
I mean, he won, how many in a row? 3 in a row? 4 in a row?
3 in a row.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did. And 3 in a row was his most.
And then it started spacing out further and further because everyone's like, he's the dog to get.
Yeah.
And you start finding guns who'll take him down.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's what they hunt for. You're no longer trying to win races.
Right.
You're trying to beat that driver.
Right.
So you're looking at where he's at and what you need to bring in to get to that level. Not necessarily to beat in racing.
Not to win the race, but to beat Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you beat him?
Yeah.
But he's got so much freaking talent.
So with 5 races left, okay, he still has a few more wins in him left. I'm thinking a few more wins, okay. My money's on him to win the championships. That'll be his 5th one this year.
That's easy money.
In a season where they run about 20 races a year.
Right.
Okay. He's only going to be under 20 wins at the end of the season to catch Schumacher, okay.
So
in the next couple of years, I think he can do it. If he's on the pace that he is on this year, I think in the next 2 years he's going to do it.
Yeah, if he can stay on the pace that he's at or grow to match the people growing behind him, if he goes stagnant and the guys catch up to him, he'll be in trouble. He needs to match their.
He's got to win at least 5 a year for the next 4 or 5 years.
Well, he's got this.
He'll get that, but I don't think
this was his 8th of the year this year.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, just to maintain, but that's an aberration to pull off 8 in F1. I mean, when's the last time 8 in the season?
F1's always been. If you're on this one team, you're gonna, Schumacher.
Yeah,
Schumacher when he ran for Ferrari.
Well, yeah, and also look at Ferrari back when Schumacher won everything.
Yes. Yeah, there's that.
But they all go through that adoration, just like years ago when. You were Roush. If you were Roush, you were the car. If you were Yates, you were the car.
Hendrick.
Hendrick. If you were Hendrick, you were the car. And they come and they go, but I mean, obviously they've stayed a whole lot more because they are the cutting edge of F1. Mm-hmm. So they're a little bit more than
So we could be looking at the greatest Formula One driver ever in Lewis Hamilton? Possibly. Maybe.
Ever?
Well,
based on wins and
Top 10?
championships.
Well, I mean, just because you have the record doesn't make you the best ever.
that was like it's funny. I'll throw this out there because I found it. I laughed really hard at it the other night, and I don't know why because it shouldn't have been that funny. But on Facebook, they were selling a shirt that was a Dale Earnhardt Sr. shirt, and it was awesome and greatest driver ever. And I so wanted to post back, go, yeah, 7 championships. So was Richard Petty with 200 victories and 7 Daytona 500. So to call him best ever,
Right?
He was good, but he wasn't the best ever.
Right.
So
and there's a lot like
and in his genre, Schumacher's just
there's a lot more extends out from that. I mean, who's got the record for most wins in Formula One in one season?
Yes.
Also, if you want to look at it even further, what have you done away from the track for Formula One?
Right.
There's that as well to look at.
You have to be an ambassador of your sport.
So
Yeah.
anyway,
Exactly.
nonetheless, Lewis Hamilton, like you said, I think he's going to be,
He's going to be up there.
One of the-
He will
one of the-
end in a
one of
Hall
the
of
greatest.
Fame
One of
and
the
one of
greatest.
the greatest. Absolutely.
My call, I don't think he's going to get the wins. I just don't.
It'll be close, but
We'll see.
either way, he will go down in when you talk about the greatest. He will be in the
He will
crowd
be
that you
amongst-
talk about.
And
He
a
will
lot of
be
it-
in the top 10 of all time.
a lot of it.
F1.
A lot of it
Easy.
depends.
Absolutely.
A lot of it depends on McLaren and Mercedes as well. They can stay on top of their game as well.
Right.
So
you have one bad engine program, you're done.
yeah, he's 20 wins away from tying him right now. So
And they know that's a goal that they want, so they're going to throw a lot of R&D and stuff behind it to
he's
make it
going
happen.
to have
Okay.
so much money behind him.
yeah, I was looking at the wrong stats. Sorry, Schumacher's got 91 wins. I'm sorry, Schumacher's got 91 wins, and Hamilton's got 70. So yeah, I was right the first time I said
20.
that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at too
21.
much notes here. Gosh. Anyway, let's leave Formula One.
Okay.
All right.
One,
Moving on.
one more thing. One
We're
more thing.
still here.
One more thing. Last week we talked about the Pennsylvania Posse.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we said they are the World of Outlaws' toughest competition.
Yeah, when you're
Wherever-
in their
wherever-
house.
They are the world. Okay, Northern California, not bad, but Pennsylvania Posse, I'm glad to say because I grew up back there, the toughest competition for the World of Outlaws. They struck again last night at one of the bigger races of the year, the National Open at Williams Grove, 56,000 to win, and Pennsylvania owns Lance DeWeese wins the main event over Donnie Schatz, over all those guys.
Donnie Shaw.
I'm just trying to imagine that money on a win.
That's more than I make in a year. On
That's more
one
than
race.
like 90% of Idaho makes in a
That's
year.
about 55,000 more than I make in a year.
But on the other side of that, you're driving a $100,000 car, and
And
so
wanna talk about
balance that
expectations.
out.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing last night. I got a picture of it. I put it on Facebook. I think I'll have to show everybody if you want to look. I know you people have been looking at me. There's a picture of my little bitty hauler and all these NASCAR haulers. And
Oh, yeah.
I felt like a big dog because these guys, these $200,000 haulers, and I'm in there with my
They
little...
squeezed you in on the end of Holler Row.
I felt like badass. I'm rolling out my little '78 Camaro, and they've got all these K&N cars lined up. And dude, I was walking tall all day. Going,
Well,
I'm
now, do
pitted
you
with
remember
them.
when the 78 Camaro was a super late model?
Oh yeah, with the big long swept nose that looked
Yeah.
like a modified.
The,
Oh,
the
those
old
were-
Brewster Baker look.
It was Turk Logan.
Oh, yeah.
That was Turk Logan that had that red car against, and same with that's my favorite movie. So, but yeah, those modifieds looked awesome. That's what I want my car to look like.
Right.
So great segue to Meridian Speedway last night.
Pull it in.
Let's pull it out.
No, you did a good. We can pull it out.
That's the moon that we threw into there.
No, we're good.
Pull it out. Pull it in.
I'm
Okay.
so squirreling you guys. Every time you guys say something, I squirrel right away.
No, so yeah, last night Meridian Speedway, K&N came to town.
That was
Idaho.
a big show.
Idaho 208.
I mean, we've had K&N cars down at Orange Show, and we've had other big shows with the Lucas Oil Modifieds, all those guys. That felt just the energy walking through the pits last night
Isn't that
was
amazing?
big.
Oh yeah.
The cars that were
And-
lined up,
And you missed Diamond Cup. No, you were there for the second night of Diamond Cup.
us for the King of the Wing.
Yeah, King of the Wing, I'm sorry.
That was
Just
the
when,
amount of cars, and you guys were pitted out in the parking lot.
when that level, when the King of the Wing, when the Diamond Cup, on the Eve of Destruction and on K&N night, holy shit.
You can feel the buzz from the stadium.
palpable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally just walking around, you can feel it.
Yep.
It's awesome. But last night,
Yeah.
with the big guys in and watching them with their templates, putting on their cars, and I'm putting my car on with a fire extinguisher because I caught it on fire. And these guys are all fantastically professional, and I'm just sitting there drinking my water, going, "Hey, my car's on fire." You know, it's but you can feel it. It's a whole different feel than a normal night.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and it was super cool.
I had a similar.
It's very intense.
I had a similar feeling when I was living in North Carolina. I worked for Racing Electronics for about 6 months, and I was on the road with Racing Electronics. I was fortunate to go to the Daytona 500 in 2005, and I was fortunate enough to walk through the pit area of the Cup garage on the morning of the Daytona 500 in 2005.
Oh my
I was like, this is happening to me. Is this happening to me? You know, and that was I had a similar feeling back then as I did last night. So it was cool.
It was and you knew when I got there at 4. I already knew that this was going to be an epic night of racing. The weather was right. The humidity was right. For the whole week, it was the right weather, the right temperature.
It was comfortable. I mean, I wasn't cold. I wasn't hot. It was, it was...
The track
surface. For lack of a better time, it was perfect.
Adam Nelson and the crew set up everything to flow so well. And it flowed.
In fact... They told us in the drivers' meeting, be ready because we're gonna, if the claimers run long, the modifieds run, we'll move the modifieds to the back. They set us up expecting that it was gonna be a long night, and they had everything so perfect and it ran so smooth. We ran 45 minutes to a half an hour ahead of their schedule. They were trying to kill time because we did so well.
They ended up bullshitting for quite a while.
I mean, everything went. Adam could not have done a smoother job.
The Stingers did a great job driving.
Yes.
The Claimers did one of the best Claimer races I've seen in years.
It was a lot of fun.
The Modifieds ran a great freaking race.
Yeah. So let's stretch out the drags.
Only 4 guys showed up.
Let's stretch them out.
Like the filler didn't
drags.
fill.
No.
Oh man. I tell you,
that was. I mean, on every division that was there, put on
excellent
show. One of the best races they've done all year.
Yes,
and especially the Junior Stingers.
Yep,
they worked their little butts off. Those kids, I've never been part of the Junior Stingers until now because we bought my son his car, and he's ran quarter midgets and bandoleros, and because he's a beanpole and he's 10 feet tall now.
Right.
I had to buy him a regular car, so we got him in Stingers, and so over the last couple practices and meeting the kids. They're such good kids, and when we were like in quarter midgets, you want to talk about soccer parents? Mm-hmm. Holy, that's why we stopped racing quarter midgets because I was scared I was gonna kill somebody because these parents were nuts.
We got to go to Black Canyon one night with DJ.
Oh,
they're just right down the street from you.
Yeah, I can hear them from when you guys are running. I can hear them from my house.
Hey, you want to announce one night?
Oh,
I'm doing that. I'm doing announcing.
The microphones don't work, so
this
it's fine.
Is stupid enough for you guys to let me try.
Sorry, Brian.
But, no, the kids were awesome. The parents are awesome. Everybody came over and they encouraged their kids. And hey, you did a good job. And they really, it's a good division, a good learning division. The kids are great. So it was fun. It was fun to watch. My boy had a good time. That's all it counted.
So before we dive into that, to our viewers, please chime in. We want to see some comments. Linda Everett, my wife, says, "Sam, where's the pirate hat? It's just not the same."
Yeah, it's party.
When I refill my beer, do I have to walk out and get my pirate hat? My pirate hat's here.
Is it really?
I carry it. It goes everywhere. I'm a pirate. Come on, it's funny.
Arrgh. That's not what your wife said about you. Anyway.
Oh, she said
it's the whole peg leg thing, but no, let's not go there.
Someone's got wood.
Shit.
Jeremy White says
sleeping on the couch again tonight.
These things are like harps.
I know. I just want to
play a good tune.
They're bassy hearts.
That's why I'm not reaching up and touching anything because I'm afraid I'm going to break something.
That's what she said. All right.
I've got a couple more sitting right there. Break away.
Jeremy White says, "Love going to Meridian. Never had a bad experience at that track. Can't wait till next year. We'll bring my Hornet when RPM Royal Purple Modifieds run." Cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Bring it out and we'll have some fun.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a good Hornet track. The Hornets do really, because the banking and the style of track it is lends itself to that style of car.
With the lower speeds and with that Hoosier up front, you can get that grip. Mm-hmm. You can just rip it and just enjoy.
Have a good time.
Yeah. And there was a couple of kids that, I don't know. Did you want to get into that?
Yeah, let's talk about that right now. So
let's talk about that.
Junior Stinger race.
3 or 4 kids.
Oh.
They're almost running mini stock times. These kids have these cars running. And they're awesome. I mean, these kids were laying down some times.
The Castor Cones, the cousins, Cody, and I can never remember the cousin.
Logan,
yeah. So I always want to call him Larry. And I'm like, he's not a Larry.
And then Rusty Hop in the 64.
Between those 3, and when you go back even in time and you look at when the other kids were running, you had Riley Rogers, Kendra and
Taylor
Trepente, when they were running junior stringers up in the high school tuners.
Daytona Wirtz was back then.
Man, and watching and looking where they're now, and looking at where Wirtz is running, where the Trepentes are running, where what's his
Riley
name?
Rogers.
Nope, Riley as well, but the other kid, who's now running modified. Was he running modified now?
Is he talking about junior stinger driver?
Yeah, who was a tuner. Now he's running. Oh shoot, big kid. Oh, his dad.
I'm gonna say the 51 of.
No, he's in a Pro 4 now.
Oh, you're talking about Harris.
Harris,
Jordan
yes.
Harris.
He made a leap from junior stingers to
Well, no,
Pro 4.
junior stingers, high school tuner, Pro 4. They've moved up through there. And when you look at now, you got the Castrocones, and you got Randy Hop, and you've got a couple of the kids who've just started and are already showing potential.
Yep.
And something that no one really talked about last night that I kept trying to point out, about half of that class that was out there last night with the 16 cars that were on the track, kids, 16 children, 11 to 14 took that track last night.
That's a big
with
division
0
of
wrecks.
cars.
Let me tell you what I saw.
Yeah, they ran it right
But
through.
how many of those were female drivers? About half the field?
Yeah.
That's it's amazing.
That's the one thing I like about Meridian Speedway, our female drivers.
Right?
Well,
We're proud of our female drivers.
We
in
are,
Meridian Speedway.
and this is funny. I thought about this today because I've had conversations with a bunch of you guys, which is really neat. Because we make and especially with Haley winning last night, Haley Deegan winning. I was at Vegas on the dirt track when she won the pole. First time a women's run a pole in the K&N series. She won last night. First woman to win in the K&N series last night. Awesome run. We'll get to that later. But a lot of people make a big deal of being female drivers or whatever. And I love that there's people up here like, well, she's a female driver. She's normal. Because what we have up here, or that you have up here, that we don't have everywhere else. Everywhere else, it's almost a novelty to get a female driver out, but you've got so many great female drivers up here. With Kendra
we're used to
and
watching.
You're
used to watching females win.
Sarah Jackson.
Yes.
Aubrey Wortman, now Christiani.
It's
Melissa.
not out of the normal
Melissa.
for you guys. Where at other places, it's a powder puff division. It's the racers' wives that get the
Sarah
race.
Henry.
So it's not normal. But up here, the diversity that you guys have, it's so awesome that that's normal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had so much fun racing with
We're used to
Kendra.
watching them win all the time.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And perform. We have Melissa Hardy. She's Hall of Fame material now, and she's freaking in her mid-40s.
Yeah. And Kendra's coming.
Right.
I finished ahead of Kendra last night. I'll say this because I said it to her last night too. I've been dying to beat her because every time I ran the Claimer in 3 races, finished third 3 times, I followed her bumper every time. And last night I finished ahead of her. I didn't beat her. She broke.
Right.
So I don't credit that one yet.
Where was she at when she broke?
But I was chasing her bumper again.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. So I talked to her also about that race. We're going to talk to her.
But it's
talk
just
about
neat
that as well.
what you guys have.
We have such a diverse pit lane.
Yes.
That and I love when I walk up and down the pits and you're seeing these 11-year-old, 12-year-old, 13-year-old boys and girls, and all of them socializing and hanging out. Which, again, at most tracks, you don't have the camaraderie of drivers.
Yes.
And of crews to help one another. And when you see that, and as they get into the high school tuners, as they're getting up and going into new classes, it's so beautiful to see.
It is. It was. And the kids that came out, like with Sam being his first night last night, they came over and encouraged him, say, hey, good job, you did good out there.
Yeah.
They really, they all help each other and talk, and it's really neat to see. It's awesome.
Yeah. So let me go ahead.
On that same note, we had 4 or 5 cars come from Twin Falls with
Yes.
their kids.
Yes.
And that was and to see the I know there was a little bit of drama back in the back pit.
Yeah.
Which is weird because as much as I like to help the parents and the kids get their front wheel drive cars kind of going, I heard the exact same things from both sets. From I don't like the word animosity, but just the uncomfortableness of new.
Yeah.
Right.
Was kind of fun to be a third party to, because both sets, both sides of the pits were both like, oh, they're doing this, oh, you're doing the same thing. You guys just hug it out and drink a beer.
Yeah. I saw we had this is what I'm talking about Twin Falls, but it's what I love about Meridian Speedway. We still have 2, 3 more. Usually every year we have about 2 or 3 more races more than Twin Falls,
right.
and when their season ends, they come here, and they came last night in the Junior Stingers. They came last night in the Claimers. Yep. So it was good to see them.
Mitchell.
Yep. Ron McClymans from Twin Falls was there last night. Awesome. Eddie Cole as well. Talk about that Junior Stinger race though. Cody Castricone took the win over Rusty Hop and Jody Moen. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that last few laps of that race from my vantage point. Okay, you guys were talking about 16-second laps. The rest of the field's probably doing about 17 something.
17 to
They're
20.
bouncing. Yeah. It's normally from what I was seeing about 17 sevens to about 18
mid 17s, mid 18s. That's
so,
the norm
but he was
of the
whipping.
class.
He was
about
whipping.
3 or 4 laps ago. Castricone and Hop, their nose to tail, they're catching the back of the pack now. Well, they probably caught him a few times, but they're catching a gaggle of cars now. About 3 laps ago, and they made holes in that freaking pack of cars. I never thought
they didn't make holes. They were diving through Swiss cheese.
Holy crap!
Oh, yeah.
I said to some friends, I said those two look like they were being chased by the cops on the freeway. They were darting in and out, going through holes that were barely existing, and my goodness, how those young kids survive. It's beyond me.
Go ahead.
Forza Horizon. Freaking kids on these video games, and they're smoking my old ass because they can play video games that I can't. It sucks. These kids, their hand-eye coordination and as fast as they can think to be able to adapt and move in a race car. I'm sure a lot of it is because of technology today.
Right.
Is incredible how fast their thoughts can move and how they can move a car and
adapt to their car in traffic.
Oh my God. And dive into holes that they go, hey, my car's 6 feet wide and there's a 5.5 foot hole, but it'll still fit.
Right.
And they'll go. So it's the combination of coordination and reaction and no fear.
Mm-hmm.
The no fear part.
And it's game on. And these kids are scary good.
Yep. So I'm gonna say something that I don't like saying. To parents' faces, and you're here, so please don't take this the wrong way.
Oh, no.
But your kid had his first race. I am a gigantic supporter of the Junior Stingers and the High School Tuners. I spend an inordinate amount of my time on non-race days and on my own race days in helping parents and the kids understand front-wheel drive and how to set up to rotate and what all that stuff means. And I love what these kids are doing. Mm-hmm. That said, last night's race, not only was I anxious for having that many kids on the track, but the speed differentials between those top 3 cars and the rest of the field really kind of broke my heart. And I got a little upset about it because like they were doing and when Castricone and Hop were splitting cars. And they did it to your boy.
Oh, yeah. They went high and low and split him like a wishbone.
This is my issue in a Hornet class, that they don't enforce driver etiquette because it's a novelty class. And in Adam's eyes, Adam Nelson, as a novelty, there is zero driver etiquette taught. So having kids come in as a junior stinger and a high school tuner, and they're purposefully not educated on the craft of racing, and when they split cars 3 wide, they're not taught that that's a very bad thing. Yeah. And the guys in the Claimers who are now having some of the Hornet guys who are moving up and now taking a 90 horsepower car, front wheel drive, and now getting 400 horsepower rear wheel drive, 500 horsepower, trying to still drive in the same mindset that they've done for years. There's gonna be something that's gonna break, and it's gonna break soon, and I don't like where that is heading. I want to see Sam learn what it means to start a pass, be in a pass, and finish a pass. Yes. And what that means to what your car is doing. Just because you're a second and a half faster doesn't mean you drive like a fucking asshole. No matter what age you are. I don't care if you're 11 or if you're fucking 60. You don't drive that way. And for the parents, I know some of you don't watch, some of you do. Teach your children that that is not acceptable racing behavior.
No, they definitely.
Any level.
You know, I have no problem with the speed differential because it shows, like with Sam last night, and we down, what's the word I'm looking for? Debriefed. How the night went. And when some of those kids went winging past him when they're doing 16-second lap times and he's doing 18.5 seconds, it shows him what's going on, what these how fast they're
Right.
This is what you aspire to do. So I don't want to say everybody needs to be totally even because yeah, they need
you don't want to
faster
be
cars.
even.
But when he was like trying to pass other cars and whatnot, yes, you are right that we talked about this is what you need to do. If you're being passed, you hold your line. If you're passing, you hold your line, but in a different line.
Right.
Because yeah, I will say for my own point, because I've only done it once now. When we bought my son's Hornet, I went out and tried it. Ran it the very first time to see, kind of shake it down, see what it's like. That car scared the hell out of me. Those front wheel drive cars, those are hard to drive. They're not easy. No, they're not.
I have had a lot.
My late model and my street stock drive a whole lot easier than that Hornet did. I almost stuffed my stuff in the fence because I went in the corner like a late model.
You're not used to it.
See, you drove it like a late model.
Yes. So, the kids do need to be taught that there is a differential between the cars because they are two wholly different classes. That would be, I would have to equate it simpler to jumping out of an Indy car and jumping into a stock car. They're two entirely other side of the spectrums from each other.
But when you have zero driving experience, and then you're in this role, and no one is teaching.
You need to focus them on what they're doing. You need to not just throw them and go race.
And what the rules of being around cars are. They've not been doing driver's ed. They haven't driven I-84 in traffic.
Yes, I agree with that.
They haven't had the
They don't have the empathy of how big their car is, how wide their car is, how close can you get to somebody before you're running into somebody.
Right. And what that means when you're doing that, what that other car is now forced to do.
Yes.
What are they having to do? What have you taken away from them when you're in the spot they were supposed to be in?
Yes.
Or where they thought they were going to be, and now you're physically there.
And I've talked to Sam about it a little bit because it's funny that you say that because I've had this conversation. It's like shooting. It's not just what you're shooting at. You got to think what's behind that, what the bullet's going to feather through.
Yeah.
So if you do this, if you do A, then B is going to happen, C is going to happen, D is going to happen. It's not just if you go to pass a car, dive under a car and dive onto the grass like I've done. Sorry, guys. But the problem is you got to think you're going to hit that car. You're going to knock him up. You've got a car behind you that's chasing you, and you're trying to get the guy. There's a lot of things happening to your one movement.
It's a three-dimensional world.
Yeah. Yes.
And in a video game, you're in a two-dimensional world.
Yes. Yeah.
So if that's your experience, and that's your mentality and the thought process, when you add that third dimension.
But it's neat that we have it. We need that we have the Junior Hornets, and I'm glad that because it is a great jumping post.
Oh my God, it's so cool.
And it's huge. It is, for the kids, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think the moral of the story is as they're, for right now anyway, as they're going through this learning curve, you hope and you pray that they don't tear up cars as they progress up through the ranks and get hurt.
And they take this opportunity to learn, maybe that was a really bad idea.
Yeah.
And why was it a bad idea? And when is it a good idea to do something different? And how do you take that moment to breathe and go, if I just take the moment, pass them on the high side, I can still catch that car and make a competitive pass. Because that's what racing is. That's why we do this on a circle track. Yep. That's why we have an outside wall. That's why we have grass. That's why we have the rumble strips. That's why we have these things there.
Repercussions of actions you take.
And we all want to load our
Jimmy
cars
Johnson
on the trailers.
really wanted to think that today.
At the end of the night, we all want to load our cars back onto the trailer. We want to take them home. We want to brag about it. And we want to unload the next race and still have a good time.
Yep.
And we don't want to work on the cars in between the two.
I've always said the junior stingers and tuners, they always kind of halfway scare me. So
they do. The kids, I mean, it is. I never really, until you just said it, thought about it. Yeah, they've never done driver's ed.
There's not one.
My kid can drive now a full-size car on a racetrack, but he's never driven on a freeway. He's never driven down Chinden or something when there's traffic everywhere and cars were coming across.
Yep.
That's a lot to take in for an 11, 12-year-old.
My 8-year-old this last 2 weeks has been talking about he wants to get a kart, wants to go back to the dirt track race, and wants to get into a junior stinger when he turns 11. And so as we drive, his responsibility to me while we're driving is to call out awareness.
Right.
Is to tell me what the lights are, to tell me what the traffics are, and I tell him, I make clear high, clear low. And he's got to sit in his back seat and he's got to look.
Yep. Yeah. So technically, we have about 15, 16 minutes left. But I guess we
haven't even started the claimers. It was a huge weekend of racing.
I guess we can go. In the past,
I'm still good. I'm going to get some more beer, but I got to go pay me a beer tax real quick.
Oh, okay.
So no, we can keep going.
Yeah, we can keep going.
We ain't got a time limit.
Lots to talk about.
Oh, right on.
We say 8:30.
We're going to bore everybody out there that's watching us going, God, these guys just ramble.
Golly.
Hey, here, talk to those guys real quick, too.
Freaking NASCAR.
For some reason, I can't.
We just talked 15 minutes on stingers. We talked a half an hour on NASCAR. My God. Anyway. So let's look at what our viewers are saying right now. Scott Gilligan, my buddy last night.
Mr. Gilligan.
I watched the K&N race last night with.
Oh, I didn't even see him last night. Hey, I would have said hi to you. I didn't even see you. Wow. I'm an idiot because I don't pay attention.
Yeah, Scott Gilligan tuned in tonight, and he said he was, I guess he's pretty happy about Deegan winning last night, and DJ's about to, I guess, piss off Dono on any minute. What does that mean?
Probably NASCAR.
I don't know. Anyway,
if you're not pissing somebody off, you're
Donna. He also says, Donna, there are a couple of 9 and 10-year-olds too, and there'll be more on the 27th.
Oh, perfect.
All right, be right back.
Okay.
Yep. Will says, guys in the stands last night could not believe they were kids that were racing out there, and when they interviewed them in Victory Lane. Yeah.
Yes.
And
that was another thing in the Stingers when they did the interviews and whatnot. The kids carry themselves so well.
Yeah.
I was amazed that the winners interview and whatnot.
They're learning early.
Yes.
In order to it's not all behind the steering wheel. You have to present yourself well in front of the media and the fans as well. So they're learning that.
I still haven't learned that. Wait till you guys see me win a race. I'm an idiot when I climb out of a car.
We say we're proud of the females that race there. We're proud of our kids as well at Meridian Speedway. That race there. Jeremy says, I've talked to a lot of them kids just trying to get a handle on what is good to run kind of setup. I'm amazed on the info they give, and they're not afraid to tell you what works.
No.
Love it. So
another thing, another squirrel topic that I've noticed up here is down there at Orange Show when we race, all our guys are so secretive. We don't tell each other, or they don't tell us, because they don't want to give a leg up. Up here, the top guys came to me when I first started out and go, hey, what tire pressure? Oh, no, you run this to be faster. Oh, you need to run this weights. And everybody is so welcoming, and they want to help each other. It's amazing. Everybody's great.
Oh, yeah.
And helping us, get my boy running last night. Oh, no, you want to run these tire pressures, and you want to run this line. And it's neat. It's kind of weird, actually.
Everybody wants to be competitive with each other and have fun, run side by side out there with each other.
There's tracks out there. They don't want to give you any edge because they're like, hey, I'm already beating you by a lap. Why would I give you room?
Yeah. Well, when I first started racing at Meridian Speedway 6 years ago, I was amazed by that as well. People want to help you.
They go out of their way to come over and help you, and it's really neat.
Oh yeah, that's what I love about Meridian Speedway. Let's talk about claimers, Mr. Newcomer. 100 laps last night. 100 laps. We went 100.
That was a long race.
We went 100 circuits, 100 circles around Meridian Speedway. Okay.
We had a pretty good night. Kendra was top qualifier in the 99. Did an awesome job in qualifying.
I thought the 67 had fast time.
No. Kendra, I think, had fast time.
Let me look it up because I was
pretty sure she did, but
I didn't get there until
she was up there. I ended up, I think, 6th. I was up there for a while.
Yeah,
I suck at qualifying. I am the worst qualifier. I can go out there. I need to be hunting down the rabbit.
Yeah, you need group qualifying.
I need group qualifying because if I go out there by myself, I overthink and I do stupid crap in the back of my brain while I'm trying to drive a car, and I suck at qualifying.
Pat Tully was quick, but
she was quick.
Kendra was second.
Okay.
Josh,
I thought she was up there.
Josh was 3rd. Taylor was 4th, and Mitch Pearson was 5th.
Yes,
Twin Falls.
Twin Falls, Mitch.
Yep, Twin Falls car.
Love having those guys.
I was 6th. I got dropped off the board at the last moment.
Literally the last.
I'll remember that. But we had a full invert last night, so complete upside down in the field.
67 car.
Pat Tully.
47. The Nova looking car. I want to give a big shout out. I can never remember his name. Scott
Cooper.
Cooper. Yeah, Scott Cooper.
Yeah.
Scott. Congratulations on figuring out how to get that car to go. You look
so
much better last night.
He's a good guy. I like that guy.
Him.
He's a great guy.
From the first couple races I ran with him to last night was absolutely
dramatic.
Night and day.
Right.
He was on it and gone.
I will argue strongly for most improved driver and total package setup.
Yeah. See, I haven't watched from the beginning of the year, obviously, because I'm kind of new. My ship just sailed
and
into port.
You spent like half the year in California.
I get it. Pirate ship. That was good. I like that.
But in those 2 races that I ran with him, and then seeing last night, huge. He got the car working. It was fast. He had a good, the times I was around him, nice smooth lines.
Clean.
Really clean.
Yes, lines.
Yes.
His entry, his middle, his exit, he held everything where he needed to hold it, and he didn't blatantly fuck up.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Awesome.
Everybody last night, it was a really smooth race.
Yeah.
So
beginning of the race, you passed Brian Hyde for the lead.
It took me a while. I think I started 3rd to last.
Yep.
And I was running for my life because somebody plugged in my earphone. If for those of you that don't know, we have obviously race receiver, so I can hear Tower and I can't talk because I'm used to having a spotter.
Probably a good thing.
But somebody plugged in my race receiver, but forgot to turn it on, so I had nothing last night.
Me.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it, but yay.
Yeah, that was me.
They kept throwing flags, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting in trouble. But I'm running, and I knew Phenopoulos was behind me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm running for my life because he's coming for me. So I'm going through traffic, trying to keep his butt from catching me, and I knew Kendrick was coming. So I think it was on 9th or 10th lap that I ran through it and was able to catch the lead as we went through. And it was, the first few laps were smooth, everybody was clean, nobody was bouncing off each other.
That was amazing.
It was amazing.
A couple of spins by Rich Lawson. Yep. A spin by Brian Hyde that collected Taylor Entrepinti as well.
Yes.
And then we had a pretty long green flag run there for a while.
Yeah, I ran. I think I led 35 or 40 laps up till about the 50 lap mark, and we caught a lazy caution, real simple, and that let everybody bunch back up. I think
I just won a loss in spins, and I mean, that was when he spun in 4.
Yeah.
Because I remember looking up in my rear view, and I thought, oh, I'm a straightaway ahead of people. Oh, I don't do this. And so we got a caution that bunches all back up.
Right.
And the problem I had was normally I fill my tank before going out for a big race like that, and last night I didn't. So I burned off a lot of fuel, so my car started going stupid loose. And
that explains your entries a lot.
Oh, I was fighting that, and
right after the halfway point, your car went to shit.
Oh, it went to total crap.
So I think
I was just trying to hold on.
Was Kendra the first one to get by you?
Yep.
Yeah, she was the first, and then she led for a little while, and then Pat did, and I kind of fell in behind Pat and followed him around until he followed or passed Kendra, and I couldn't take advantage of the situation, so I fell to third, and
yeah,
and I knew Phenopoulos was coming.
Phenopoulos was coming. So let's talk about the end of that race, okay?
It was a great
because I talked to Kendra also. Yeah. 4 laps ago, Kendra's transmission is what I found out.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Took a dump on her, up in smoke.
I like her description of all of a sudden the shift knob was just.
Yeah.
I was following her as normally she knows for whatever reason my car likes to follow her bumper around.
It's a nice car.
I say that as an adult. That sounds wrong. But
she's 19. It's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, then I won't complain too much. But anyways, no, it's
Melissa. Direct your calls to him.
That is
1-800. That's the
I don't care at gofuckyourself.com.
Well, I finished 3 races, and all 3 races, the first 2 races, was the same finishing order, and I followed Kendra around each time because she can freaking wheel a car. She absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And she was wheeling that one. We were staying pace. I couldn't catch her, but she couldn't lose her. Our cars are very evenly matched.
You've got power through.
Yes.
She has a better entry.
Yes.
Plainly a better entry.
So, I figured I'd already, a la today's finish with the Monster Cup, I conceded myself to 4th place. I knew where I was. Everything kind of settled. I was just hanging on for dear life. And then I saw her going up in smoke.
That quick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was down the back straightaway, and then I got scared because I thought maybe she was dropping something. She was blowing a motor. I went into 3 and 4 so tiptoeing because I thought there might be fluid down. Yeah. And I almost gave up that because they were coming on me.
So I talked to her, and I asked her, I said, before your transmission went, do you think you had something for Pat? And
I think she was chasing him down.
She was hanging with Pat for a while there, and she told me flat out, yeah, I think I had something for him.
She could close the gap. Yes. But then she would lose about 2 or 3 car lengths, and then she'd close the gap and then drop 2 or 3 car lengths. And same with you. You were able to close up on her and then drop as well. Yes. So Tully was just the class.
Yeah, he was just out there and going.
And Phenopoulos had his own same type of thing. He could close and then hold and then close and then hold. I loved how watching, I don't know if it was tires or if it was just loose factors, but for a couple laps you'd have it, and then for a couple laps and just watching the accordionation.
I was trying to hunt for it because I was down to cords, and I was trying to hunt for that line where I could get a grip and I could play with Josh. And like you said, I'd get up to his bumper and then he'd kind of pull off.
Yeah.
And then
all of a sudden the magic would go back to him. You're like, oh, it got too close. You rubbed it off.
Yeah. But it was a fun race, long race. 100 laps. That's a good amount of race when you're out there winging these things.
Did you have 4 cautions total?
I can remember 3. I know I took the cone twice.
29.
And I know we did a single file restart once. So there might have been another cone in there.
I got let's see, Rich Lawson, he spun twice. Brian Hyde spun once, got collected Taylor. And then near the end there, Taylor spun with 13 laps to go.
Right. Oh, okay. Correct, yeah. Because it was about a little over 10 lap run at the end.
Yeah, that last restart was a quick run because
Yeah.
I was hoping I was going to try and take advantage. That was going to be my last Hail Mary, was that last run, but I had nothing left.
Yeah.
I was done.
Yeah.
Fuel was almost out. Last couple laps, I think I was barking against running out of fuel, so I was trying to be careful.
So in the end, Pat Tully picks up the win, 100 laps over Josh Finopoulos in our
That
own.
guy is so smooth running, and Finopoulos. I've memorized every rivet on the back of his car. I've stared at the back of his car for so long. I know where every rivet, every scratch is on that car. Now I want to see the front of his car in my mirror. I'm working on it.
for longer than a lap or two.
For longer than a lap or two.
Sam Newcomer had a fourth place car there, with Kendra's misfortunes there, went up third.
3 claimer races, 3 third places. I don't know what that is. My car loves third. That sucks. I'm gonna beat that out of it with a really big 2x4 when I get home.
There you go. I got like a 3-foot pry bar in the garage. You can take it home.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what the fans are talking about right now, our viewers. Scott Gilligan says, "Hey Sam, we'll be back up for the 27th. Maybe we can pit together and racing the Stinger as well."
Right on.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yep. So
Heck yeah.
Jeremy says, I first raced a Hornet at RMR and it was the oval. Then they changed to the road course. Now RMR is done. I need to figure out a setup for the Hornet. That's why I asked them and they love talking about it. I guess he was talking about the Junior Stingers when he was talking to the Junior Stinger drivers. He says he can't wait for 2019. It's going to be a great time. Jeremy's going to pick your brain, Donovan, as far as getting some setup advice.
It's a very small brain. It won't take you very long.
Scott says, Donovan has a good motor sitting, not doing anything at the moment. Jeremy.
Oh, yeah. And fuck you.
Badass motor sitting on a trailer. In a
I think
car.
I think Donovan's got some plans for that one there.
I do.
So.
I have
Gears are turning.
I have 3 plans that I'm putting into action all at the same time.
And somehow I got roped into figuring in on a few of those.
You did. I needed a shop.
3 plans.
Shit.
I have 3 plans. All happening.
I have one plan. I'm going to race my ass off in 2019.
So I gave it's in a 3-way.
No. 2019 is going to be a badass year.
It is.
2020. 2020. That's me. That's my year.
Okay. Pitstopusa.com modifieds last night at Meridian Speedway. 50 laps was the distance. And let's describe it here, how it all went down. Colton Nelson took the lead on lap number 6, passing Joe Thuss.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jonathan Hull spins on lap number 14.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to restart. Quentin Duncan in the number 81 spins on lap 26 off of turn number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was a weird spin, too, because he just...
Yeah.
Something had to break or something, because it looked like he just... It jumped.
It snapped on him, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a normal, like, got loose and spun. Something went, or he hit something, but yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was humming.
On the restart, Colton Nelson and Josh Jackson are side by side on the restart.
Where's the 81 car from?
Don't know.
I can't answer that one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know enough of the
Yeah,
guys.
I know.
I know Todd would know it.
Yeah.
Anybody out who out there knows it? Because the 81 looks really freaking familiar.
Yeah, the one that Quentin Duncan was
Where'd they get that one from?
driving last night. On the restart, front row, Nelson and Jackson.
Josh Jackson.
And here we go. The show's on.
In the Lion Tamer Beard Care 00.
Yeah. So Colton's got the lead.
That freaking car. I've seen it run modifieds. I've seen it run.
No,
super
they're
stock.
2 separate cars.
Are they really?
Yes.
Well, see, now you just burst my whole bubble because I thought that dude was just badass in one car. I thought he was just... I was going to tell him he was a god because I thought that was one car running all those different classes.
They are made identically. The super stock is the backup to the modified.
Oh.
So they can easily convert it up into the modified.
Right. That dude can drive that car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
There
one
was a
drives a
couple times-
shitty car better than Josh Jackson.
There was a couple times
Right.
he was halfway down the back straightaway, and I could still see his passenger door number because he was winging that thing.
That's Josh Jackson. I'll show you some pictures of when he did an axle grind down the backstretch.
Oh, yeah. He actually made the, not the cover, but a centerfold of one of the racing magazines.
Yeah.
One of his accidents.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No one wrecks harder than Josh Jackson.
I've always told him he's got 9 lives.
Dude. Yeah.
Right.
Love the guy.
That's
my hero.
why I like to help him out and when and where I can. I've been helping him out for, Josh, 5-6 years now.
Yes.
Oh
And,
my God.
and shout out to him because he pitted next to me. He was across the little gravel road from us. And the whole night he talked to my son and helped him out.
Yeah.
He lent me a broom so I
That's
could clean
Josh.
my pit. I mean, those are the most awesome people to pit with and to talk to.
Josh and his dad are. They're what they have in here is unbelievable.
Yes.
And they're just. Other than and don't take this the wrong way, you're a fucking asshole. But I love you.
All good racers are assholes.
Something
Right.
you and
So I need to
Donovan
be
have in
hard.
common.
Right? You're
Yeah.
you're a fucking asshole, and that's glorious.
Shot across the bow.
There's a reason why it says Lion Tamer on his car.
I'm telling you. But yeah, no,
Lion
shout
Tamer
out for him.
Bunker.com.
He ran a good race.
No,
It
he
looked
did.
good. He was hauling. That car
Aggressive
was
as
on it.
fuck.
I've seen
Aggressive as
him
man.
have the most hellacious accidents and walk away from them.
Come
My
back
gosh.
and be just as good, if not better.
My gosh. Yeah. Ask him about the story about the time he this is last year. I remember this specifically. This is the night of the Super West. No, this is the night of the Treasure Valley 125 last year. Modifieds were running during practice. Something happened in turns 1 and 2, and he climbs the wall, gets into the billboards.
Mm-hmm.
He's on top of the wall in turn 2, and something about he climbs out of the car, he walks away, but he can't remember where his pit is, and that's when the medics. When the medics took note of that and says you're going to the hospital.
Yeah.
Something to that story. I think hopefully I got that down somewhat, Josh. So anyway,
That'll grab your attention.
yeah,
Yeah. No, yeah, he had that was in the blue and white car, the wing car.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's his old car.
So I want to mention before that Quentin Duncan spin on lap 26, Josh actually got up to Colton on his rear bumper, and they
got up to
they
him.
are bumper beaten. They are man, oh man,
Epic.
they are. Yeah, they're. He's giving them some bumper love. That's for
Little bit.
sure. Bumper intimacy, as I call it sometimes.
It was like
That's another thing. Your guys' modifieds up here, you like to beat and bang. It's badass to watch because those guys go at it. They put on a show.
While I love that Joe Cook is trying to sell me his modified, dude, I can't afford the kind of labor to keep the car
Try
going.
harder.
He wants one. You just gotta.
There's the one.
I'm coming, guys. I'm
You gotta-
putting the modified together, so
You gotta coddle them a little bit. Just take them and
harder.
coddle them a little bit.
Oh, here
Get rid
goes.
of this front wheel drive thing.
I do want a. There's.
Holy crap! He is all the
Oh
way
yeah,
off
that's
the
the
racing
one.
surface.
That's the one
Yeah.
that made the magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's. Hold on. I mean, it's a full continuous.
There's a picture.
That's, I will say, as much as I love and as much of fun,
Right.
that made me stop in my tracks. As much fun as I have with Meridian, and as fun as that track is to drive, that back straightaway K rail scares me to death.
Yeah, that's
The front wall, I hit the front wall pretty hard last night, and it's off camera, so when you hit it, it kind of pulls you down, so you're fine. The backstretch K rail, you crawl up.
Yeah, you get some airtime back there.
That
Yeah.
scares me to death.
Yep.
But yeah, he's that in that picture.
So-
He was all four wheels off the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So anyway, going back to last night's race. So Colton and Josh are going back and forth.
Yep.
Josh is giving him some bumper love,
Yep.
and then that's when Quentin Duncan spun out.
Some very intimate, beautiful
Yeah.
bumper love.
Quentin Duncan spins out on lap 26. We go back to restart. They're side by side. Colton's down low, and Josh is up high. And go back to restart, and Josh gets around him and says bye-bye.
Well, we will leave it at the descriptive of he gets around him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
he set sail at that point. It
Yeah.
was just
So Josh picks up another win in the modifieds. I don't even know how many that is for this year. Colton finishes second. Larry Hull, Wyatt King, and Jonathan Hull at your top five. Brian Warfish, your 2018 PitStopUSA.com modified
good job.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
But blowing the motor, I wasn't sure if he was going to
Yeah.
get that or not.
Yeah.
That's a hard division. You pull off a championship in that division, you're doing good, dude.
Yep.
Right.
So,
And Worf, he totaled that car out mid-season.
yeah.
Just,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Built a new one and started
No, they
over.
rebuilt it, the whole car.
Really?
Yep.
They
You want a modified. There's
wrecked.
usually not much left to rebuild.
It was a wrecking.
Oh wow.
Right.
And they slide. I remember I stopped by the track to pick up a check or to buy some tires or something like that, and they had the car out there in front of the dairy barn on jacks, and they were rebuilding everything on that car.
Wow.
Yep.
So then they
So,
finished up and we moved
the local
on to-
races. The local classes got done, and it was 8:15, 8:30, and it was time to go K&N West Racing for the Idaho 208. Let's talk about the K&N cars, though. Earlier in the day, Cole Rouse, the number 99 for Bell McAnally Motorsports, in practice, hits the turn 3-4 wall. There's some pictures
Again,
out there.
all four
Yeah.
tires off the
Yeah.
ground.
And he
I
hit
guess
hard.
he had to go to a backup car
Yep.
on that one there. Our own Kyle Tellstrom in, what was it, practice or qualifying?
In practice, he blew,
Also-
blew an oil
Yeah.
line.
Practice too.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling, jumping forward a little bit, I think that might have hurt it a little bit because I think that's what contributed
Yeah.
to how he finished the night,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
sucked. Because
Which he lost to oil again.
we were
Yeah.
screaming for you.
Yeah, and he had a couple of really good moves happen early.
Yes.
Made his way past because he started dead last.
Yes.
And gotten past the back quarter of the pack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
He had a couple
and had a
really
good, solid looking car.
Yeah.
Good car.
Yes.
So, speaking of qualifying, Derek Krause, the number 16 Napa Auto Parts Toyota for Bill McNally Racing, put that thing on the pole.
Always class of the field.
13.243. He ripped around that track. 13-second
all in the
laps in
mail.
a K&N car around Meridian Speedway.
On a gigantic
Holy
car.
crap. Holy crap.
That's
It's amazing.
holy
It amazes me every
mail.
time those guys come to town. 13-second laps.
For the weight and what they have
Oh, yeah.
to go around that. I mean,
Yeah.
our mods are turning mid 13s, low 13s. Our wing sprints are turning low 11s.
But they're
Yeah.
twice the tire, half the weight, half the wheelbase.
Right.
Yeah.
And these guys, I mean, they're on it. And to watch them, to stand against the back wall and watch them come down that straightaway before they let off and to just feel the wind that they move, it is incredible.
Where you were sitting at when I
Yeah.
came down to
I love
finish
that.
up the
I love
second
that
half of the
view.
race, when you're
love
able
that
to
view.
watch them come through two and then roll out and just the weight
Yeah.
of that car settling and them catching it before they're inches off of that back wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Derek Krause was your pole sitter. Ryan Partridge in the Brucati Sunrise Ford. Number 9 was second quick. Cole Rouse, number 99. Bill McAnally Motorsports was third. And Haley Deegan in Bill McAnally's
Haley
car
Deegan.
was fourth. That's your front two rows.
Yep.
Green flag came out lap number 1. The number 32 of Taylor Canfield spins it in turn 4 to bring out the first caution on lap number 1.
Yep.
Go back to green. Second caution comes out on lap number 16 for Kyle Tellstrom.
Yeah, losing it.
Up in smoke.
Yeah. He boomed.
Hate seeing that.
You went a little Cheech and Chong style.
Yeah.
That's the kind of you go boom and go, oh, that hurt the wallet.
Yeah. So went back to green flag racing again. Krause at number 16. He, for the most part,
He had it.
He had that race. He on every restart he would take off.
Yeah, he had good speed.
That team, the 16 team that I've watched over years, no
Yeah.
matter who they put in that car,
I know.
that is such a top flight
Yeah.
organization
I
and
know.
program. It's incredible to watch.
You want that ride. If you want to go K&N West Racing, you want that number 16.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember a couple years ago when it was
Gilliland, Scott-
Gilliland's
yeah.
boy doing it.
Gilliland. Yeah, Todd Gilliland. Yeah.
He drove it out of that car.
Yeah, Scott Gilligan. He's
No, it was
he's a
not
road
Gilligan.
model.
Wrong one here.
Todd
But yeah,
Gilliland.
he was definitely class of field. He was humming.
Yeah.
He could
yeah.
play and put that car anywhere he wanted it.
The 6 and the 9 as well have always been
They're
top
pretty
quality
good.
cars.
Yeah. Went back to green flag racing. I said the 16 takes off. Lap 30, Rouse, the number 99, passes Derek Thorne in the number 6, another Brucati car, for second. Third caution comes out for the number 10 of Matt Levine.
That was my pick.
Spins on the backstretch.
That was
guy
my
had
boy.
a bad night.
He had more competitive passes in that race than anybody.
Oh yeah, he passed probably 30 cars last night.
Because he kept on spinning.
Well, but where was he spinning? He was spinning, making competitive passes where no one
Yeah.
else could make a pass.
Yeah.
He was fighting for every position he could get.
But if there was a 3-spin rule, his stuff would have been done by about halfway through.
Yeah.
Well, his shit was done halfway through.
But
That
that-
car was beat the fuck up.
That first spin,
It was beat up.
that first spin came from a great battle going on between himself, Jeff Jefferson, the number 27,
Yep.
and Haley Deegan. They were going at it
Yes.
pretty hard. And
The 27 was, I don't want to say in the way because that's a crappy way
Right.
to say it, but he was definitely
In
not
traffic.
the class in traffic that the other cars
Right.
behind him were when you're talking about Thorne and the 9
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those. So
was
that really
definitely
bunched
a-
things up and made it exciting. That group was fun to watch.
I give it to him because his car obviously is not the equipment of Brucati or
Right.
McAnally.
Yes, and he held.
But he was up there, and I got some notes what he did later in the race. It would be entertaining.
When they spread out, his car was equal to everybody in the top 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a group,
He was-
it wasn't there.
Right.
It just wasn't
Right.
there. But I love that he
was making people behind him impatient.
He
Yeah.
left them the low line.
Yep.
He wasn't blocking. He wasn't
Nope,
doing anything. He
not
ran
at all.
his lines. He ran them clean, but it caused everyone behind him
To bunch
be
up.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is why when the 10 spun out the first time was underneath the 27.
Right.
My turn
When he
to
spun
paint
out the
beer
second
cans.
time, he was.
Yeah.
I think he was right behind the 27.
Yeah.
He recalled
Well-
the.
Yeah, we'll get to that again here.
Yeah.
We'll go back to restart lap 58. Stingray Rob, number 36, spins in turn number 2. Maybe a little bit of help from the number 77 of Andrew Cohen's. Okay. On the restart, Jefferson in the 27 on the restart passes Cole Rouse for second. on the restart. This is where I'm getting with Jefferson, the number 27. He passes Cole Rouse on the restart, put himself in spot number 2. Eventually, Rouse gets back by Jefferson for second. And then, let's see here. I got more notes here. Derek Thorne gets by Jefferson on lap 75 for third. A lap 84 caution for the 08 of Travis Milburn, I should say, with a great battle with Jefferson, Deegan, and Partridge in the 43 of Cody Vanderwall and Matt Levine. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before that spin, that's what I'm trying to say is there was a great battle, and I think that's when you texted me saying
I was blown up. I mean, poor Todd.
Yeah.
Todd's in London when this was going on, and I was just blown up. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, the 27, the 9, the 19, the 43, and the 10.
Oh, what a battle!
Was freaking
what a freaking
Jefferson,
battle!
And at that point, the 19 of Deegan was falling back.
Possibly, I don't know, maybe
because she wasn't at that point. She wasn't.
Well, there was a lot of beating and banging.
There was a lot of beating and banging, but she had fallen back a bit.
They were driving. For those of you guys, the tens of you who are watching, that battle they were doing in the mid pack. In 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, these guys, they were driving like we were doing in the Hornets in 2010.
Yeah, it was the show.
They hit everybody. And everybody traded paint with everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. It was amazing. But no one hit each other inappropriately hard. But there was a whole lot of bumper love. There's a whole lot of fender love. I was just joyful at how physical that race was. I felt bad for the crews for the repairs. And I was like, at one point, the crew chief's going to kick the door and like, we want to be perfect.
Yeah, we're going to talk about...
That was the first thing I was just thinking in the back of my mind.
The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, they better clean fender. They weren't doing it right.
But it was good. I mean, the middle pack, the front few guys kind of checked out and they were doing their thing. The back guys were kind of cruising, but that middle group was exciting.
Yeah. Jefferson, the 27, Partridge in the number 9, Deegan, the 19, Vanderwall in the 43, and Levine in the number 10.
Yes. Yep.
On the restarts, Derek Krause, the number 16, always chose the high, the outside row, the high line.
Meridian is the right way to go.
Yep.
So for future reference, the high lane.
I'm learning that. I'm getting there.
He who likes to restart in first on the inside.
That was a cone restart. I was doing whatever the opposite of the leader was.
You were the leader.
Oh, yeah, it was. Oh, shit. All right, that was stupid. Well,
that's okay, Grasshopper. You'll... I'm just kidding.
Rookie.
I will learn. That's why I still have the yellow stripe in the back of my car. I got to peel that off.
Take it off.
Yeah.
You're not a rookie.
But anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, talking about getting physical. Now, this is where we're going to start talking about Haley Deegan now. Okay.
She passed that 6 car, Thorne, like 6 times. Because she would pass him, and then a caution. And then
so...
caution.
At the halfway point, Deegan starts using the bumper. Okay, he puts the bumper to Ryan Partridge in turns 1 and 2, moves herself into 5th. Okay, and the bottleneck behind that, though, when she moved Partridge out of the way, that's when Levine spun again.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
And then on lap 110, Levine spins for the 3rd and final time on the front stretch. So there's your 3 spins for Levine.
Yeah.
Going back to green flag racing, Deegan in the number 19 puts the bumper to Thorne in the number 6 on lap 119, passes Thorne for 3rd by way of bumper. Now here's why I might need some help from you guys because I didn't actually see this. Lap 189, the 32 of Taylor Canfield. Krause is coming up on Canfield to lap him. Did they make contact or did Canfield spin and Krause went to avoid?
He started spinning. I don't think he was going to go around, but he was sideways and loose. And I think he thought he was going to spin around and went high to avoid him, thinking that he was going to spin and come lazy into the inside.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He held it and kind of started collecting it. All of a sudden,
he had to make
a hole that was this big became this big.
I just saw his car go up in the wall.
16 committed high.
Yeah.
And in 3 and 4, depending on how that entry
he was hoping that he was going to spin out of the way and he'd go right along the wall and everything be happy. But
at Meridian, there's not enough banking to make the car go in the grass. You have to direct it there. And whether he spun correctly or incorrectly, he kept it on the track.
Yeah.
And that closed up a lane real fast. And, and you
he just had no choice. Yeah.
But it didn't seem to affect the car.
No,
it was scary as fuck.
Yeah,
because he climbed up high.
He almost pulled a Josh Jackson. He was
saw some airtime there.
Yes.
They moved him back to 3rd after that incident behind Deegan and Cole Rouse and we went back to green flag racing with about 10 laps to go. So
About 10, yeah.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Last 10 laps.
Deegan's in second.
And she's getting closer, a little bit closer to Rouse.
To a point. Honestly,
Yeah.
from a driver's standpoint looking in, I could see the gears turning in Deegan's head. She held back a little bit because she knew she was only going to get
one shot.
Yeah.
So for the last 5 or 6 laps, she was holding back, not pushing hard because she was saving. You could physically see her setting that. She knew what she was going to do.
Yeah.
She held the position, she held the grouping, and she'd close a little bit and then let a little bit.
Yes.
She was
feeling
testing
the
her
situation
equipment
out
to see if I got on here, what would happen. And she'd close up and then she'd drop back in.
Yep.
And it's funny because me and my wife had a conversation about that this morning. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi,
You could
Sammy.
see versus, not to get into the male-female racing or whatever, but female racers, females in general versus those males, you could see how the figuring was because we would just bonsai in.
Right.
If I've got the car and I can catch him with 3 laps to go, I'm going to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
She was plotting that out, and she saw the end game.
For as young as she is, regardless of gender for me, for as young as she was, when I watched those last handful of laps, and you could see her tactfully judging off what can I pull out of the corner, what can I go into the corner with, and
she knew where he was
out,
messing up.
Yeah.
She put herself into a clinic, and then she figured out what to do, how to do it, and then on that white flag,
Executed.
she did it.
Yep. So coming out of turn 4 for the white flag, the 77-inch cone spins to the infield. We stay green.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They drive through the dust. The top 3, they go through the dust, through the smoke, and they reappear going into turn 1, and Deegan puts the bumper to Cole Rouse.
Not just puts the bumper, she moved.
Yep.
She moved him, and
Moved him out of the
honestly,
way.
you know
Moved
what?
him out of the way.
I don't remember who said it. I want to say Darrell Waltrip, but I'm sure I'm wrong. I'd wreck my own mom to win.
Yeah.
It's
That sounds
white
like a
flag
DW.
lap. It's your first race win in a huge division,
And you know you got the car to do it.
and you know you got the car to do it. In the end, he should be thanking God he wasn't sitting against the fence because
Yeah.
you know what? If I was in that position, I'm pulling a Jimmy Johnson and I'm bonsaiing.
Yeah.
So
No,
she nudged him, she moved him up, let him collect it, but that was an awesome move.
She turned left. She turned left underneath.
She turned left and went.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, gone. Check.
And
Done.
takes the checker flag.
Yeah,
And,
that was
awesome for her.
I watched all the video replays on that, and
Yeah.
holy, it was fucking perfect.
Oh, it was. She could not. I mean, that was a precisionally set up bump, slide, dive,
It
and
was
she
the
had
right amount to get it to move without putting him in danger, and make the move and complete the pass. It
And
was
you know where
fucking
she
amazing.
learned that?
Huh? iRacing.
No, probably.
Daddy?
No, Vegas 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Oh, in the dirt.
If that Vegas race had been 3 more laps, she would have won that race because
Same
she
thing.
was same exact setup, going around and watching her. She learned that would not happen to me again, and that's where that came from because the exact same thing could have happened, and she drove it.
Yep.
She flat drove it.
In the video that I saw of her receiving the trophy and doing the interview, she made the comment that she drove them exactly how they drove her through the race.
Yes.
And that's the only way she would have done it. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
That-
And she's a great. I mean, I've talked to her a couple times now.
And I hate that she's 17 and can drive that well.
the talent
If
she
I
has
could
in
do
her
that
head.
when I was 17, at 17 it was like, car, hit,
She's a great ambassador. I see very
Yeah.
big things. If she keeps going with the Toyota development program and whatnot, I see very big things for her.
Yep.
She
Oh,
can
yeah.
wheel a car. She's awesome
Yeah.
to talk to. She's
Yeah,
you
she's
know,
got
you-
the personality.
She's got the
everything else.
personality. She's got the marketability.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, it's awesome.
Let me throw this out to you guys too. Of course, she is the daughter of famed Brian Deegan, ex-game
Never heard of him.
freestyle motocross racer. Back in, let me look at my notes here. Back in March of this year, when they ran the K&N West race, Kevin Harvick was in that race,
Yep.
and she was battling Kevin Harvick side by side. After that race, Harvick was so impressed. A quote by Kevin Harvick saying, "If I had to pick one person to say, all right, that's the person I want to drive for me at Kevin Harvick Incorporated and want to represent and has the most potential, it would be Haley Deegan."
Yep.
She did really well tonight. That was back in March of 2018. From
And
Kevin
she's
Harvick.
just growing.
Yeah. And at this age, she's got her potential will still grow for the next 2, 3, 4 years, depending on her equipment that she gets into.
Yeah.
And then and hope to God she's somewhere where she can be.
As long as they and I've had a conversation with a few other people too about this. as long as they do it right and they don't try to rush her through because of what she is,
So
let her grow, let her develop, and she will step in as an absolute
I would love
marketing and racing engine when she's ready to step.
Her in a truck in 2 years? That sounds about right. Maybe 3 years.
Yeah. Let her run for a championship in K&N next year in these cars and really 2 or 3 wins.
Ship her back east and do the same series back east.
She will roll through.
So, the thing I was impressed, she's 17. Yeah, she's a female. Yeah. But she's not afraid to use that bumper. She's not afraid to say, look, boys, look at me. I'm coming through.
And we talked about this last night. Once the helmet goes on, there's no gender, there's no age.
Right.
I've always said, and I believe she's the exact same way, as most of us are, I believe. 5 days a week, I'm out in my shop. I'm working on the number 4. On the 5th day or 6th day when I'm racing, I am the number 4. When she's in that car, she is the 19, and she goes in, and she's got that drive and that mentality, and she used it, and it looked good, and she has no fear of pushing in there.
Nope, not at all. That's what I'm impressed about.
Every lap, I sat up in the spotter stand and crew from the Real Purple Mods. I learned a lot from Becky, the NASCAR official. She's been doing 20 years, and I spent 128 laps sitting next to her, watching her do her job. And then we had a long conversation afterward about what she does. And we talked a lot about Deegan and how and what she did. And that was the maturity and the skill set that shouldn't be with someone her age.
Yeah.
Right.
In Vegas, when she was running with Christopher Bell and Brendan Gaughan and whatnot, some people, when they race with big stars and whatnot, and I've been kind of a victim of that too, you kind of get a little starstruck. Oh my God, I'm racing with these guys. And she can blow past it. I mean, she was leaning on Brendan Gaughan hard at that Vegas race. And it's just, I'm out racing. I can do this. I'm as good. I don't care what you think. I'm as good as you no matter what. It's awesome.
You couldn't tell male from female,
no,
16-year-old to 60-year-old.
No.
In that race.
But on the other side of that, she steps out of that car and she is personable and she's pretty and she's marketable. She's really a very good package and a great ambassador for the sport that can grow around.
Yeah.
They can get a hold. I mean, nothing against Danica Patrick. I mean, there's people that love her, people that hate her. I'm one of them. But she got pushed in way too fast, way too hard from her background. Haley's going the right way. She's grown up in full-size cars. Yeah. She will be a force to reckon with because she knows the direction she's going. She's got an end game in sight, and she knows it. And she had a great win. I mean, that last night, she should have been a 4-time champion, veteran. That was that kind of driving.
Yeah. I think she pulls off a full season in West, does a full season in East. Because you have to go East. You have to. You got to make the contact.
You kind of do, because they say the East Circuit is a little bit tougher than the West Circuit.
The West Circuit.
So you have to taste that a little bit.
People who are there. You have to take that season to go
I can maybe picture that. Yeah.
I mean, unless she's got the pockets behind her to put it directly into the truck without going East, you have to go East.
Well, and you've got, because she's part of the Toyota driver development program, so she's got the money and she's got the backing. She can pretty much almost go anywhere she wants if she keeps rolling. But,
so for whatever it's worth, okay, and Mr. Newcomer, you've witnessed history 2 races in a row. For what it's worth, she is the first female to win a pole at any K&N level, okay, and the first woman to win a race at any K&N level.
At any K&N level, yep.
So history made there 2 races in a row there for what it's worth.
And it was fun to watch. I was glad I was there to do it.
Yeah.
In Vegas, when she did it, when she went out for her qualifying lap, she had been practicing all day, 5th, 6th, 7th, kind of doing her thing. When she went out and laid the couple laps down on the dirt, you heard the stands go, oh, because she whipped. It was fun to see. I'm glad I was there to see it.
Yeah.
I think even she went, oh, I shouldn't have gone that fast, because she was on it and sideways the whole way drifting. I mean, it was the Tokyo drift around the corners. It was awesome.
So cool.
It was beautiful. So but I'm a big fan of female drivers. You know, big fan of females.
Yeah. I prefer them.
Obviously. I'm the same way.
Unless you're DJ and he has those Sharmaine's lips.
Of course. So with 2 races left in the K&N Series, they got All-American Raceway Speedway in Roseville coming up, and then they close out the season at Kern County.
I think he's got it.
Derek Thorne is your points leader with 2 races left. Ryan Partridge is second. There's a tie right now between Ryan Partridge and Cole Rouse for second. Right. Derek Rouse is third, and Haley Deegan's fifth right now. And
unless he has a bad night, I think he's pretty well got it. Just because
he's got a 28 point lead over Ryan Partridge right now.
Yeah,
and Cole Rouse. Derek Rouse is fourth. Haley Deegan fifth. So that's it from last night.
Well, so what's coming up in Meridian?
Yep, that's what I was looking at.
A couple more races left. You have the Trunk or Treat. It's going to be huge.
Yep. So
huge.
Let's talk about next Saturday night at Meridian Speedway, October 6th. Wing Sprint Cars, Pepsi, ISRL as well. Nice. Domino's Legends, Project Filter Pro 4s, Coors Superstocks, Hornets, and Bombers. Wow, that's a full night there.
Night, right?
Wow.
Well, between the ISRL and the Legends, they both put on really quality shows. Between ISRL and Pro 4s, that's been the best on-track racing of the season. Best car counts, best performances, top to bottom.
Yep.
So right there, those two being your feature classes are going to be awesome.
Yes.
The Bombers have basically sucked all year. The Hornets are running.
Yep.
One of the weakest years we've seen in like a decade and a half.
Since 2015.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, yeah, as a car count, they've dropped so much, and everyone's running basically mini stocks at this point anyway.
Yeah.
So that should be a really good show. Pro 4s and ISRLs are going to fucking rock.
Yeah, I'll be at Black Canyon next Friday night and Saturday night. So
we should go get some beer and hang out and watch it.
Come out Friday night.
I'm supposed to have another treatment on Monday, so technically I'm supposed to leave Saturday so I can be down for the weekend treatment.
You're going to bring
Monday.
back the mini stock, right?
And then, when's that? The 27th?
No, I'm like when you go down Monday.
Oh no, it comes back. I got to bring shop equipment.
No, I got a space right here for it.
Oh well, I'd probably do that.
You got a race on the 27th.
Well, yeah, I'm racing 27th.
Yeah, trunk or treat.
I see what you're saying. But no, I'm going to go down and do treatment. Then I got a couple weeks of the maintenance pills that kind of suck, and then I will be back up. I'm hoping the 20th because 27 trunk or treat race. I'm coming for it.
He's coming.
I've been aiming for this one. I saved my best set of tires. I've got
his best costume.
You got to get better than third.
Oh, you think you've seen a pirate now with a hat?
Oh boy.
Oh no, you haven't seen nothing.
Yeah.
You want to see a pirate?
And I'll be
not that Jack Sparrow crap.
I want to try to represent Turn5.Live. Going to give out candy.
Right
on that day.
Yeah, no. I'll since I don't have a car, we'll instead of candy, I had a different thought.
Beer. Give away beer.
That would work.
Give away beer.
But
bring the kegerator.
Then I would never get anything done. But I want to put a shout out to something that came up last night.
Sure.
That was awesome. This Jennifer Castrillon that races out there, or her family races.
Yeah.
She was talking about somebody last night that there's a lot of kids that are out there that maybe can't have candy, can't have stuff. So she's trying to organize so that we've got the regular candy that we hand out for trunk or treat, but treats for kids that for whatever reason can't. So she's putting together something so that we'll have certain cars or whoever. I think everybody will jump on it, so that everybody can come and trunk or treat. Bring your kids if they've got an allergy or something. Come out and watch the races, because we're going to make it so we can have everybody as much as possible.
So on the Turn 5 side, one of my thoughts is to get I looked up on Amazon and eBay. They have like 300 like toys.
Yeah,
Halloween
something besides candy, because some kids can't have it. That's the thing I've learned the last few races is I offer kids candy, and the parents don't want the kids to have
candy. As a parent, my child who's ADHD, you give him 2 pieces of candy and he's in Never Never Land.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that are going to make it so that everybody can participate and do their thing. So I'm so looking forward to the trunk or treat race. That sounds so cool.
That'll be fun.
And I throw away bags of candy every year just because that's what he got, and he's not going to eat it.
Yeah. So come out and see what we do, because we'll do weird stuff. So
that'll be
crazy. Oh yeah.
That'll be the final race of the year. Saturday, October 27th. Total performance claimers 75 laps. Project Filter Pro 4s, mini stocks, high school tuners, junior stingers, and Hornets. That'll be a fun.
Oh, that would be an amazing race.
Typically, I think that's a day race as well. They start earlier.
We start early. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
On the 27th, on the trunk or treats, we practice. I think the first practice is like noon, 1 o'clock.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then, so we do our practices, then we stop, and then all the kids come into the pits.
Oh, okay.
We do all that, and then we go qualify.
That way it's not super late at night for the kids and everything.
Yep.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
So we're done at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, so I got to get totally dressed up. I got to race, then get dressed.
Yeah.
And then get undressed and get back in my suit so I can race again.
Basically.
Oh, what the
makeup, all that kind of stuff. Yep.
No, I
you got like the
makeup.
So you better practice doing costume changes right now.
That's a whole nother show we'll talk about when I've done conventions and whatnot, where you'll wear 5 or 6 costumes in a day. Oh no, I can change.
We're gonna go Comic-Con up in the pits here.
Yeah.
We're gonna get together with Geeks Worldwide, and
Yep.
we're gonna get with Fandomonium, and I think 2020. The pits become the haunted pits of Meridian. The ghost of Racers.
Oh, you organize something? Oh yeah, we could do some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Adam, you heard it here.
Oh boy. So there you go.
So, yeah,
We
it'd be a good race. It'd be a big night.
Yeah.
Lots of people. Let's sell some sell them out.
Tonight's our longest show ever. We went 2 hours.
We had
so
one show that went like almost 2 hours a couple of weeks ago.
Well, this one went 2.
We went,
My fault.
we went a
Thank you
solid
for
2.
putting up with me.
So
Thank
anyway,
you guys.
so we want to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
For supporting us all the entire year thus far, and want to thank Sam Newcomer stepping in for Todd.
No,
tonight.
thank you guys for having me. It's been fun. I'm sorry I drilled on.
No.
Oh no, it was a huge race weekend.
Yeah.
It was
With
lots
the
to talk
roll
about.
action happening, which will dedicate almost half of his show, regardless, which basically was. And then K&N, we should have had more time for K&N.
Yeah.
Because as a show, as much as we truncated it, the performance on track was amazing.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
They show why they're professionals. So
Yep.
And Claimers did a phenomenal job.
Hornets
The mods
did, or
did
the Stingers, the mods.
did a phenomenal job. The
Mods
Stingers
are just awesome no matter how you put it because they're just badass
I
cars.
love mods.
Oh, mods are just
I have my issues with
stupid
what
cool.
happened last night at the track anyway with the mods because I am an old school mod lover.
Right.
And I don't like that they stickered up. I hate they stickered up.
Yeah, I hear you saying. All right.
It's so much in my gut went this is like inherently wrong. Yeah.
Alrighty. So there
Anyway,
you go.
no, thank you all for having me.
So,
I appreciate it.
Thanks
you
for
guys.
Sam Newcomer
Yep.
coming out and filling in for Todd. And thanks always to Dono, driver of Tucker 2.0. He's going to revive it here. My name is DJ Everett. We
DJ.
see you next Sunday night here on Turn 5 Live. Don't forget to bring a friend or two to the racetrack. See you then.
Well,